start doing it.
That's right. Because we don't give a fuck.
All right, let's just do the intro. 17 seconds. This in a while. Hello, citizens. Welcome to Hollywood is Dead, episode 129, summer 2023 catch up 2023. Phoenix West.
Dick, yeah.
Dick, we're back from our hiatus for my new baby.
That'll do it.
Thank you for cooperating with that. It's a lot going on over here. Everything's going great. In case anyone's curious, I could not be happier with what's going on. New baby's awesome. Zero complaints.
Nobody cares.
No, I care. You know what? I give a shit for once.
Yay! That's wonderful.
I gave a shit.
Yay!
Got the new signs. I carved some letters and some poster board and put it in front of the TV.
Very nice.
I need to tone down the brightness, though. It's still bothering me.
Yeah.
It does bother me that I didn't put the Y right here. Like the line should be. It's just like
right.
I realized that afterwards. I'm like, oh shit. Anyway,
wow.
What did you watch? We've been gone for literally 3 months today. We left in April 2020 or April 21st, and we're back on July 21st. I have a huge list of things I watched. I don't know if you want to go.
I don't have it. It's not a giant list, but it's a decent sized list. I did watch a few dozen movies that were decent.
The only thing I would say is don't spoil anything from The Flash or Guardians 3 if you watch that.
I saw both those movies, and there's nothing to spoil.
I know. I want to watch them and not have stuff in my mind. That's the only...
I enjoyed The Flash. I think it's a pity that The Flash that bombed so badly because it wasn't terrible.
I would have seen it in the theater, but new baby.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Well, right, yeah. I saw it with my brother. My brother and I went and saw it because he was in town. He was visiting, and we went and saw it together. And he loved it because he's a big DC boy, and he was like, "This movie's just great. They did a great job." And then it just was the worst bomb ever. They destroy one. It's single-handedly destroying Warner Brothers right now. It's wonderful. Our show Hollywood is Dead is becoming reality. It's wonderful. Hollywood truly
especially
is
now during the
right
writer's
now.
strike. We should mention the writer's strike
and the actors strike. The actors are on strike now too,
which has turned into an actor strike.
Stupid. Nobody cares
and
because they don't make anything good. Nobody cares. No one's supporting them. Nobody cares, Bill.
I definitely support them above the studios, though. Like, but what am I supposed to do about it?
Well, no, because this is what they're asking. You have streaming now. Do you need 10 writers to write a streaming show? No, because a lot of them are written by one guy. I'm sorry that you guys put baby in a corner, but that's what you did. That was on you. You fucked up. You should have been paying attention to this shit. You guys fucked up. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for you.
Most shows have too many people on staff for writing.
Yes.
They get too many
don't
chefs.
Don't need 20 writers on a show. Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
That aside, they will get crushed here shortly. They'll be forced to go back to work because they're out of money, and that's just what's going to happen.
They're going to be forced to go back to work at Starbucks because they ain't going to be working in NBC anymore because NBC can't pay them. They can't make it. They're not making any money. You can't pay people whose product brings in pennies when they used to bring in hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sorry, it's not how the business works. You guys fucked up. You don't make anything good. You're done.
When the strike's over or whatever happens after this, the fallout is going to be very interesting. It's not going to be good, regardless. As far as an audience member, it's going to be weird, and it's going to be a lot. Like I feel like reaction videos are going to be playing on Hollywood, on NBC primetime.
That's what I've been watching. It's all I watch now is YouTube reaction videos. People watching movies for the first time. It's very.
But I feel like that's what we're gonna have to put on because they're like, we don't have anything else, and you guys don't give a shit.
Because I'll wax nostalgia for someone that's watching The Dark Knight for the first time. It's great, and everybody loves it. Every time someone watches The Dark Knight for the first time, their expression when Heath Ledger's on screen is wonderful. They love it. They're just like, oh my God, this is so amazing. This is so fucking good. Every time, everybody, like from the deepest parts of the Soviet Union to the brightest shores of Florida. These reactioners are watching these movies from 18, 13, 20, 40 years ago and enjoying them. It's hilarious.
Why did you say that line like you're in an SNL movie from the early 90s?
Because it's true. Because they're from all over.
The things of Winnebago. You said that. You said to the beaches of Pomona. You said like Walter.
to the beaches of Pismo.
Pismo, that's what it was.
Pismo. He was a surfer. He was a baller. He's one of us.
What the fuck does this have to do with Vietnam, Walter?
A case on.
Sorry, man.
Then you took a case on. But did you watch because I caught up on the Scream films. Did you watch all the Scream movies in your hiatus?
Yes. I wasn't going to go in order of what I watched, but yes, I did watch. I'll delete these off there now. I watched. Okay. I didn't watch Scream 4 or 5, but I finally did.
So you had that
5
scene.
5 and 6.
5 and 6, yes.
There's 6 now.
Right.
5, I have almost zero memory of. Was that the one where they were back at the house from the original?
Scream 5 was Dennis Quaid's kid was the killer. So it was they were in, and what cracked me up was Modesto, California made an appearance in that movie.
It did, yeah.
And they're at working at the bowling alley. That's not our bowling alley.
I did have a moment where I leaned over and go, that's where Dick's from, to my wife. She knows you. So I was like, she's like, oh.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, Scream 5 was very, very predictable.
Yes.
Wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. I enjoyed it.
I liked it more than Scream 3 and 4.
I would agree.
But I like Scream 6 more.
I thought Scream 6 was too much.
It was too much. That's why I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, it was a little over the top, and it's just like, okay, we need to stop making these movies now.
Yes, I hope it's the last one forever.
They need to stop making these movies.
You know me, I in my top 100 movies, I have Scream, the first one.
Right.
I fucking love Scream, unashamedly. I just love Scream, the first one. And after that, I don't give a shit.
It's so weird, though, that I remember watching that movie in theaters when it first came out. And it's been that long. It's been so long since that movie's been in theaters. It's just like
it's been 27 years.
I experienced Scream in theater when I was in high school. Like we went and saw it. It's so nuts. It's so crazy to think that. Like, wow, all these cultural moments for people, and I was there in the theater for it. And did it do anything for me? No.
I didn't watch it in the theater, but I rented the shit up. Excuse me, the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I bought the box set when Scream 1 and 2 came out.
Right, I remember that.
They had that blue, they had like different versions.
I had that one. I think my sister got that for Christmas or something.
Yeah, I had that.
Scream and Scream 2 box set.
I love the first one so goddamn much. It's my favorite Wes Craven thing. I don't need anything else from Wes Craven, even Nightmare on Elm Street. I really don't. But the 5 was the same movies, and they're talking about the remakes, and then they get all their inside jokes there and all that. And then 6, the reason I like 6 more than 5 is because they didn't have all that. They're doing a pre-requel of a remake of a fake, they're not talking inside baseball nonsense. The meta shit is gone. Right. It's just like this weird.
Wow.
And the trailer, I thought it was going to be like a cult of Chucky they made. I thought it was going to be a cult of Scream, but it was just a family.
Right, and it's even worse though, because like, how can they afford to buy the actual television that killed Matthew Lillard in the first movie? Like, how do they even do that?
That's why I loved it, because it was so stupid.
It's so bizarre.
But it was something different. It wasn't in the house. It was in like an apartment complex.
And that one kid gets stabbed like 1,000 times and still lives because Jenny Ortega needs a boyfriend.
Next door neighbor.
Which is she was in the other movie too. They were the friends.
Yeah. Jenny Ortega, though.
Love her.
Yeah.
Something about her. She's got that hotness.
She's like less than half our age, and I have such a crush on her, and it's creepy. I feel creepy saying that, but
I want to find her and pour some sriracha on her and put her in a tortilla.
It's so creepy. But anyway, let's move on.
Let's talk about Beetlejuice 2 and my ass.
Some of this I already have mentioned because we covered them on shows. So let me just get those out of the way rapid fire. So this is starting April. So April, May, June, and July.
Right.
I have my list
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
We did talk about Renfield.
Yes, we
We
did.
talked about Liquid Sky in April.
Well, that didn't get on the. That was blocked from YouTube forever.
It's true. We talked about Dark City and Once Upon a Time in the West, so I'm deleting
Yes,
those. I
did that.
rewatched a few movies in April. Smoking Aces is one of them.
Yeah, I've seen that again.
The Wild Bunch I rewatched.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that ever?
You watch that again?
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. I just haven't watched it in a while.
I rewatched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have never watched that. I will say that I have never seen.
I really love that movie, but it's not.
It's
not amazing or great. It is just an interesting movie of its time.
Right.
But if you watch that movie, you're like, there's almost no story.
Right.
Because if you know the true story of those two guys, the movie follows everything accurately. They eventually move down to, I forget which country. It's in
Mexico.
No, it's
is it
South America,
Spain, or is it South America?
No, okay, South America. I forget, like Nicaragua, and they rob a bank and then they get shot, and that's it. That's the whole movie. But it's just I love Robert Redford in that movie, and and Paul Newman. Both of them are fun to watch. But other than that, the movie is, you watch like those movies, those classics, and you hear about them your whole life. Like for me, it was Taxi Driver.
Oh,
I watched it. I don't like Taxi Driver that much. It just does nothing.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a good movie. I'm not going to argue that. It's just nothing. The opposite end of the spectrum is I rewatched The Oxbow Incident, one of my favorite movies.
Oh, you love that movie.
Peter Fonda. Yeah, I rewatched it. It's been a while. In April, I also watched. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You have something.
No, you go ahead. Say it.
I'm just gonna go on rapid fire here, because we discussed most of these personally. Like I watched Exodus: God and Kings for some reason.
Oh yes, very good. I didn't
mind it. It was fine. Not a good movie, but it's like it's a bunch of white people pretending to be Egyptian, and you're like, yeah. But overall, it's whatever.
I don't care.
Like nothing's gonna stick with me. But I wasn't sitting there going like, oh god, come on. But everyone's good in it. The actors. I finally watched the second Sherlock Holmes movie, The Game of Shadows.
Oh wow, yeah, okay. What'd you think of that one?
I love Guy Ritchie. I did enjoy the second Game of Shadows, second Sherlock Holmes movie more than the first one.
I did too. I like that scene when Rachel McAdams dies, because I thought it was shocking when Richard Harris, like, everybody leaves the restaurant and she's left there to die, and there's like no way to save her because she just doesn't. He's like so powerful, he can command everyone to leave the restaurant, and she just dies right there, which was pretty fucked up. It was pretty dark for that character. I was kind of shocked. I was like, okay, this is where it's going.
I wish that Marvel had the balls to do that with her character, because she is pointless in the Doctor Strange movies.
She really is. It's really sad.
Pointless. I love Rachel McAdams. I think both of us have a crush on her, and she is so wasted in those movies.
She really is.
I also watched in the theater Super Mario Brothers movie. It was fine.
I did not watch that. I did not watch that. Don't care. It's not for me. It's just,
I don't know. I was hoping for more. It was just kind of okay.
I'm sure it's fine. I just don't care.
Preparing for our Coen Brothers movie fest, I watched the Jesus Rolls. I honestly still have half an hour left, or still have half the movie left. I haven't finished that yet. Jeez. And I watched the tragedy of Macbeth.
Yeah,
and I fucking love the tragedy of Macbeth.
I need to see that. I need to get that.
It's on Apple TV.
I should just buy it. It's cheaper to buy it on Blu-ray than it is to get Apple TV.
Yeah, I have Apple TV.
I don't even like it. I don't like music. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could access it and get it, but I just don't want to.
Yeah, it's a really good movie because I don't give a shit about Shakespeare, but I watched that and I'm like, I actually understand what's happening, and they don't change the script at all. Like they're reading Shakespeare. And I'm like, Denzel's so fucking good. I actually understand what's happening.
Right.
But it's Denzel and Frances McDormand. You can't go wrong with that. No. I watched a couple classics from here. My Name is Nobody. Sergio
Yes, very
Leone.
good.
It was okay. It was
I think we
good.
talked about that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I
That was a lot of
watched
fun. I enjoyed that one.
what I consider to be the biggest movie I've never seen. I watched Ben-Hur. Did enjoy the hell out of that.
Okay.
It's a long one, but
Ben-Hur's
it was
very good.
enjoyable. Yeah.
It's long, but I like that one. That's my
I
favorite.
like the
That's
leper
the best
scenes.
depiction of Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact
leper
that the director
scenes.
said a Jew a Jew made the best depiction of Jesus on film. And he's like, yeah, you're right. You actually did. That was really well done.
I watched The Most Dangerous Game.
I love that.
The original.
I haven't seen that one.
It was fine. It was good. Not great.
Yeah.
I did enjoy
It's like
Cleopatra,
long,
though.
isn't it?
I watched Cleopatra.
Oh, with Elizabeth.
Why are we both blanking on her last name?
Taylor. Oh my God.
Liz Taylor's in it.
Richard Burton. Richard Burton.
Oh, really good movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it's another like 4-hour movie, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I used to count those giant nipples sometimes.
I'm almost done with my list from April. Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, Clue. I've seen half of it.
That. It's good.
Yeah.
It's again those movies where you're like, why is this a classic? Like,
right.
It's good, but there's not much going on. It's just Paul Newman being defeated over and over and over and over and over. I watched I'm Gonna Get You Sucker for you for this show, which we're gonna cover in a later episode.
Good. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I watched Blade Runner again. Okay. We'll move on. I watched Black Adam.
Horrible movie.
Fucking stupid fucking movie.
My brother loved it. He tried to defend it.
DC fanboy.
No, it doesn't. It's great. Oh, he's a DC fanboy. I'm like, it was terrible. The Rock is just terrible. It was just, he looked old.
You know what?
And when he was like,
I think saying it's terrible is giving him a little bit of a boost of, oh, he didn't like it a lot. I just want to say it was boring. And that's way more insulting than it was terrible. It was boring. I didn't give a shit about Adam. Didn't give a shit what happened.
The characters are annoying. Yeah, everybody sucks in that movie.
Yeah,
it's like an AI wrote that movie. It's the same idea. It's like a formulaic script, and it's basically all the dialogue. You can say it before they're going to say it. You know the line's coming, so you say it out loud before they say it. It's one of those movies. You're just like, movie. Seeing it, pay my numbers. Who cares? I don't care. Like, oh, it's so cool. He's floating in the sky and he's knocking rockets out of the sky. And he takes the rocket and he throws it at the guy and blows it up. That's boring. I don't care anymore. That doesn't interest me in the slightest. I don't care.
Here's the problem with Black Adam. It's constantly him going against this crew of good guys. Oh, they're friends. Right. Oh, they're enemies. Oh, they're friends. Oh, they're enemies. Back and forth. And I don't give a shit which way because I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
You got to throw that teenager in there to get confused between them. Anyway, fucking movie was boring as hell. Yeah. I didn't hate it because there's nothing to hate because it's so inoffensive.
Right.
There's nothing there that I'm like, fuck this. I'm just like, no, thank you. Not for me, which I think is more insulting. I watched a movie that we were talking about last night that had to be reminded of what the hell it was. There's someone inside your house.
Right.
Apparently,
yeah.
I don't remember much. I'll just say it was not good, but not terrible. It was semi-interesting. There's a Hawaiian lead.
And not to be confused with ICU.
Yes, which we'll talk about later.
The Helen Hunt awful.
Actually, let's do it now.
Movie.
That's on my May list.
The awful. This was a big movie that it came out like 3 years ago, and apparently on streaming it blew up like 1 month for a week. In May, everybody talked about this movie. Yeah, everybody was saying, "Oh my God, this was like an undiscovered gem," and it was just one of the worst pieces of shit like thriller movies I've ever seen.
We had differing opinions here.
Right. Well, I thought the funniest part was when the kid was right in the beginning, and which is what intrigued me when I kept watching the movie, was that scene where the kid's on the bike and he literally is picked up in the air. Like he's like a spaceship got him. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
The truck, or it feels like he's driving by like 600 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He's in the woods.
He is literally sucked into the woods, and you're like, what? It's like supernatural.
They
But no,
never.
it's just a detective who kills kids. He's been doing it for years. I was like, what?
Yeah. The only
That
reason
was
I
it.
liked it, the only reason I even gave it any more credit than I thought and said you should watch it is so we could have this discussion.
No.
Because I like movies that change genres or completely
Sure.
change what they are halfway through.
Right.
Because the first half of that movie, you're waiting for there's a serial killer and he's like grabs the kid and slices the ankle, and you're waiting for that, but it never really pays off. But then suddenly you're realizing there's a thing called frogging.
Right.
When they're living in your like attic and they wait for you to leave the house and they come down. And I like that it builds there. I don't like the fact that they cast that kid because he always plays the creepy guy. He's in The Stand, the remake of The Stand that we watched.
That's why I was trying to figure out who he was. That's who he was.
He was Lloyd. No, sorry.
Yeah.
He was Harold. He was Harold.
Harold. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's why it was driving me crazy trying to figure out who he was.
I didn't like that he was casted because as soon as I saw him and recognized it was him, I'm like, all right, something else is going on.
Right.
And there's this. I like that. I like that actor. Don't get me wrong, but Helen Hunt looks like a Madame Tussauds wax figure.
It's melted.
It was, and I do love the fact that the whole first half of the movie is Helen Hunt, and you think she's cheating on her husband,
right?
But she's not really. She's like telling the guy, like, all right, we're not really. She was, but she's not doing it anymore. She's like, no, I love my husband. I'm sticking with him. And he gets hit in the head with an ashtray.
She's a therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then suddenly in the movie, Helen Hunt is just gone. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Maybe that's why I liked it so much. I'm like, because I don't like Helen Hunt. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. There's no more Helen Hunt. Like, they're barely showing the family. And you're following this couple living in their attic and like going through their daily lives. And you're seeing what really happened in these scenes. That's kind of why I thought it was interesting. It's not a good movie.
No, but then you realize at the end of the movie, the Frogger kid picked that house on purpose because he wanted to kill the detective who was the murderer because he knew who he was. Because I guess when he was a kid, he kidnapped him or something.
He did. He kidnapped him, but that kid survived. And his friend was killed.
Right.
But they do have that line where the girl, who's the Frogger, and she's trying to teach this kid how to frog. He goes, "You're the one who picked this house out. Why are you acting like?" So there's a reason he's there.
Yes,
it's all set up properly, and that's all fine. But
it's
not a great movie, but I did enjoy watching it for just solely for the shift in the movie, the tonal shift.
Right. It's a very made-for-TV formula movie.
Oh, definitely. There was a made-for-TV movies in the 90s that I remember called, I don't remember what it was called, but it was about a guy who would sneak into your apartment and paint himself to look like your wall and just stand and wait.
No,
me and my mom watched this.
Shut up. That can't be a real movie.
And then you would see like in the background.
Ridiculous. That is funny.
I swear to Christ.
That's a joke.
I have yet
to be a joke.
I'm gonna write this down.
You gotta find. I gotta watch that movie. I gotta find this movie.
Wallpaper Man.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna write down what I'm fine. I'm gonna look it up. But it was I watched a TV movie and it was so bad. But yes,
speaking of bad movies, I watched the worst Liam Neeson made for cash movie yet called Memory.
Oh, I did want to watch that.
It's horrible.
I'm sure it is.
It is so bad. And it's so sad, too, because it's directed by Martin Campbell, who's a great director.
He directed one of the better Bond movies.
He directed GoldenEye and Casino Royale.
Yeah.
He's great. He directed Mask of Zorro. He directed No Escape. Martin Campbell's a great director.
No Escape.
This movie is so bad.
The Ray Liotta classic.
Ray Liotta No Escape.
I love that
Ray
movie.
Liotta classic.
Underrated.
Oh, I got the special edition on Blu-ray, so there's a new one out.
I'm adding that to our list.
It has, it's got special features and interviews, and it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Wow, that's an underrated gem right there. No Escape.
Great. Don't ever turn your back on me again.
That also has what's his name? Winston.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson. He's great.
I haven't seen that movie in probably 20 years, I want to say.
Lance Henriksen's great. Stuart Townsend's the bad guy. He's great. Oh, No Escape's an awesome movie. I love that movie. It's a great
I love the hell out of it when it came out. Gem. It was an HBO movie I watched a bunch as a kid.
Yeah, and it was an HBO movie. Yeah.
We have a ton of shit to get through.
Oh no, well, I'm just saying, memory's terrible. Don't bother. Even though it's got a
What?
great cast, it's a bad
That's
movie.
not the airplane one, right?
No, this is like a brand
Okay.
new one just came out.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking
He's
the
a
airplane
hitman
one.
with Alzheimer's. No, it's a
Oh.
hitman. He's a hitman with Alzheimer's, and it's terrible. And then
Can I
another terrible movie.
can I finish
go
my?
for it.
I have 2 left in the April list, and then I'm done.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Casualties
Yeah,
of War. I watched
Okay,
finally.
yes.
I
Ooh,
loved
yeah.
that movie.
That's a dark movie.
That was brutal.
It's a brutal movie. Yeah, it's really rough.
Have you actually seen it?
Especially when I've seen most of it.
Okay.
And I think I might confuse it with Platoon because they're very similar.
No, Platoon
Matt
is not
Dillon.
nearly. I don't like
No,
Platoon
Matt.
much.
No, Matt Dillon at that scene where he like crushes a kid's face with his gun is just like ugh. That's the one that's just like, oh, it's so awful. But it's like it's true. I mean, it's probably what they did. I mean, it's honest.
Casualties of War is fully based on a true story.
Yeah.
Brian De Palma movie, which ties in my next movie I was going to mention, the last one, which is Blowout, the Travolta.
Okay. Yeah.
I was on a bit of a De Palma kick. I'm trying to watch all his ones that I've never seen, and those are 2 that I've always wanted to watch and never got around to. So I said, "Fuck it."
Well, Dress to Kill
both in like the same day.
Dress to Kill will give you a big boner.
Dress to Kill I've seen.
Yeah,
but it's been a long time. I need to rewatch it.
That's a boner movie.
But Blowout was solid. That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Casualties of War is hard to watch.
Yeah.
And
I would agree.
Because they fall on like train that girl. They run a train on her and then they shoot her on the train track. And then the military barely gives a shit afterwards, and they kind of like, oh, we gave you this. But then you see, because I looked it up, which is unfortunate because they're like, John Leguizamo, you get 6 years, and they show some of the guys who were really in control, like Sean Penn, you get 25 years, and then you look up reality, and it's like they got 4 years, and
right,
and you're like,
exactly.
God, reality's more depressing,
right?
But I definitely recommend watching those movies. They were, I would say, great. They were both great.
And John C. Reilly's in that movie.
He was. And I thought him and Johnny Legs were going to say no to the raping, but they both just trained her.
Yeah, I'll get into that. Do you like guacamole? Oh, God.
You do a fairly decent impression of John C.
I just started thinking about that, and I rewatched most of Step Brothers the other day. Because I was just like, bored. Fuck, I'll just watch that.
Can you do the yup thing?
Yup.
Do we just come? Do we become best friends?
Yup. Velociraptor.
Please learn and reproduce an entire speech he does for Magnolia.
Oh shit! Oh god, it's a long one.
When he's talking to that girl when he shows up at her house or apartment.
Oh man, that's funny.
You got to get help. There's people who care about you.
Come on, no. Well, I can't do it anymore.
No. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I finally saw Immortals, the Henry Cavill.
I watched half of that.
I've watched that. I didn't hate it.
No,
it was very interesting. It's not a terrible movie. It's very weird though to see it after all these years, not realizing that's literally like almost 20 years ago.
It's weird because I put that on. I'm like, is that Henry Cavill? Oh my god, it is. I thought it was the actor from Game of Thrones.
Right. No, it's Henry Cavill, and I read about it. I guess that the movie this was like his big movie, his big break.
He's super skinny. Like, first of all, you can't not see that when you watch it. You're like, oh, he's so scrawny.
Well, no. He had a workout regimen that I guess he had a 6-pack with a 6-pack. He is unbelievable in this movie. He's lean, but he's muscular.
Yeah. No, I didn't get far enough where he took his shirt off yet.
Yeah, I did. I was there for that.
I watched the beginning scenes when he gets. You remember they invade his village?
Yeah.
That's about when I stopped. It's probably like half an hour in. That's when I was I stopped because I had to do something else. And I want to get back to it. It's on the remaining to watch.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not great. It's just like he tries to have that speech where he's like, "You will be forever remembered." Like, okay, you ain't Braveheart. Get off.
I am Spartacus.
Yeah,
He's
it
not going
doesn't.
to lead his people.
No, Steven Dorff is in it. It's kind of like awkward. Like I don't mind Steven Dorff, but it's just like that's an odd choice to have a Rome or like a Greek thief played by Steven Dorff.
I feel like anyone just a couple years younger than us has a very different opinion on Steven Dorff.
I'm
I
sure.
love Steven Dorff.
Yeah.
But I feel like anyone younger, the slightest bit younger, just doesn't give a shit.
Well, how do you know who Steven Dorff is? Nobody saw Blade.
The Gate. I saw the Blade.
Well, the Gate.
I
Yeah,
Blade.
the Gate.
But
well,
like,
Blade's another one of those movies that the reactioners watch that I watch. I enjoy watching them watch it for the first time because everybody comes out thinking that movie was fucking awesome. So, yeah, it is. Yeah. Blade's great.
But he had a bunch of movies like when I was in high school, Entropy, then Cecil B. Demented. He had a bunch of like they're in the right area, and I feel like if you miss those just by a little bit, you know, who?
Right, yeah.
Oh, the Blade guy. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, Steven Dorff was a big part of my childhood. I love the Gate.
He's the most '90s villain ever, though, in Blade movie.
Would you recommend watching The Immortals, though?
Yeah, it's worth watching once and just never watch it again. It's fine.
I will finish then.
There's some neat visuals. The girl that was the robot in Transformers is in it, and she's really hot. But she's Athena. She plays what do you call it? She's the goddess of love, Venus, but in oh god, I'm forgetting my Greek mythology.
Love Aphrodite.
Aphrodite, I think so. She's either Aphrodite or Athena. I think she's Aphrodite because she's got tits for days. I watched Chud.
Oh, really?
I finally watched that. That was a fun little horror movie. That's Jeff Daniels and John Hurt's like first big movie.
Oh, I didn't realize they were in that.
They rewrote the script. They had to write half the script on the fly.
What year is that? Like 81?
84, 86.
Oh, that late?
86.
Okay.
Because John Goodman's
Daniels is in stuff.
John Goodman's first movie. John Goodman plays a cop. They go into this.
That's got to be earlier than 86 then.
No, it's about 86, 84. Chud, let me see. Let's look up Chud. Right, Chud's got to be 84, 86.
84, yeah.
Yeah, 84. And it's not a bad. It's a it's very low budget, very goofy movie, but there's some charming elements to it. I didn't hate it.
You know what? Part of the reason I've been watching the De Palma movies is because I made a promise to myself I would watch all those VHSs I saw in the video store growing up.
Yes.
And Chud was one of them. So I need to watch Chud. Because I was like, I remember Dress to Kill, Blowout, and
I remember. Yeah.
God damn it, what's the other one? I just Casualties of War. Like I always saw those and it was like, I need to watch those. And like the video store shelves are burned into my brain. I remember the boxes. Yeah. Chud was one of them. I need to watch that. I'm going to watch that now. We need to discuss that in a future.
Yeah, it's worthwhile. It's on Amazon, so it's always on there.
So it's one of those B movies that you always hear about, and I don't know much about it.
There's some funny parts.
Do you recommend watching it
in there? Yeah, I enjoyed it. I spent time with it again. I guess the commentary is supposed to be pretty interesting on the Blu-ray, the special edition. They talk about like they're rewriting the script as they went along, and it was basically one of those guerrilla style shooting movies in New York, and a lot of people got their start on it.
Part of the reason I skipped it because it looks like it was shot in the sewer for the whole movie.
It pretty much they're in the sewer a lot of the movie.
Why I didn't want to watch it.
They are in the sewer for a lot of the movie, and yeah, it's worth watching. It's not bad.
Can I real quick list the movies I watched throughout the last 3 months?
Do it.
That I've already seen. So nothing to say.
Revisiting.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh.
Mama.
Oh.
X-Men Apocalypse.
What?
X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Ooh.
The Equalizer 1 and 2.
Okay, I enjoy those movies.
I watched those because of other movies I'll mention here. In fact, I'll do it now. Extraction 1 and 2. I've seen the first one.
Oh, okay.
Not the second one. The second one just came out.
Right. I have no interest in those.
The second one's not worth watching. Just watch the first. First one's great. Like I would say the first one is solid action.
Okay.
I rewatched John Wick 1 through 3 so my wife could catch up, and then I rewatched 4 fresh, all of us.
How is John Wick 4?
Surprising.
Good or bad?
It's John Wick. I'm not going to say any more,
Well,
any
you know,
less.
they're all the same.
Have you
They're all
seen
the
John
same.
Wick
Yeah,
1 through
yeah.
3? Then you've seen
I
4.
have. Yeah.
Only,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything. It has a
Right.
different thing going on through it, but
Right. Well,
it's fun.
they're trying to say this was going to be the last one, but they want to
It's
still
not.
do another one.
It's
They
okay.
want to do another
You
one.
don't care about spoilers. Can I just say it?
Yeah, I don't care.
They kill John Wick off
Right.
screen.
Right.
No,
Yes.
You watch, you'll have the same reaction I did. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
dead.
not. No, he's not.
He's
That's
not
why
dead.
they did that.
But it reminded me of the new James Bond movie. Where like only he's dead. Like he's actually, they show him blow up in the movie. This though,
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, he's not dead. Like, come on. They show his grave and you don't see him. And I am surprised though. Ian McShane survived the series. I can't believe that happened.
Not the black guy.
No, they luckily killed Lance. They killed Lance Reddick right in the beginning, and I'm like, good thing that happened because he died in real life. But I guess the real scene, he wasn't supposed to really die there. He's supposed to come back later.
Oh, really?
They just didn't have the second half of that scene, you know.
Oh, it sucks.
So they kind of, but no, they kind of got lucky, honestly, that they shot that while he was alive.
Right.
They can give him the proper goodbye there.
Yeah.
Because Ian McShane is just like destroyed by his death in the beginning. He's like,
really?
He's just like, I don't want to. I have to bear like his revenge for the rest of the movie and John Wick 4 is because they killed Lance Reddick.
So Ian McShane is going after John Wick because John Wick kills
Lance
Not John
Reddick? Wick. No, it's Pennywise.
Oh, right. Because John Wick and John Wick 3 gets shot by Ian McShane and he's thrown off a building.
Yes. And that's part of the reason he wants to help John Wick is because he feels guilty because he had to do that.
He was shot multiple times and he fell from a 10-story building.
What is John Wick?
He lived.
He's a video game character.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I love about John Wick is pretend he's a video game and you won't sit there and be like
fine.
questioning everything.
No, it's
anyway,
fine.
We need to move on. I also rewatched. I watched for the first time Coco, Lightyear, Sing. I watched for the first time. The Boss Baby. I'm just fast forwarding, so we don't have to talk about these. Siberia. I watched for the first time, I should say, and it has Keanu Reeves, and it fucking sucks. Don't watch it. Do not watch Siberia. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I was on a Keanu Reeves kick, so I watched Matrix Revolutions.
Yeah.
The fourth one again. Because I don't remember what happened, and I rewatched it again.
I still don't know what happened.
Still couldn't tell you what happens. I rewatched Hereditary.
Ooh,
that was just as good this time around than the first one.
Oh, yeah. It's a good movie.
I fucking love that movie.
Hereditary is good.
Top 10 horror movies.
I would agree. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. What do you got next?
I was going to go down the 1980s bad/interesting horror movie called Dead and Buried. It's an interesting film. It opens up with a guy who's taking photography on the beach, and he's just hanging out. He's nice, he's on vacation, having a good time, and all of a sudden this chick shows up, and she's like, "You want to take a picture of me?" And he goes, "Sure." And all of a sudden she starts taking off her clothes, and she gets naked, and it's very like 1980s. He's like, "Yeah, okay," and all of a sudden the whole town comes out of nowhere, and they brutally murder him.
I want to watch this now. Dead and
Buried. Dead and Buried. Brutally murder him, and then come to find out what's going on is the town. They're all dead. Everybody in the town is dead people.
Okay, this is another one of those VHS cassettes I would see at the video store.
Yeah.
And now that I see the poster,
it was co-written by Dan O'Bannon, who is famous for Alien, Total Recall,
also John Carpenter's first movie.
But he had nothing to do. He had nothing to do with Dead and Buried. He basically said the guy used my name to get the movie sold. So I
remember seeing this as a kid.
Dead and Buried. Yeah, it's.
Can you see what I'm showing?
Yeah.
Okay, the Dead and Buried poster.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing that in the video store as well. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to watch that.
I'm gonna go piss real quick.
Oh my god.
Continue. Tell me about Dead and Buried while I'm gone, so I can listen to it later.
Okay,
Can't wait.
so
Sorry.
Dead and Buried, it's like this very strange. The grandfather from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original Willy Wonka, is the head mortician in the town, and so he has this. And I think this is his last movie. He dies in real life shortly after this. He was like a fucking 105 years old, and he's really good in the movie. He's like a whimsical, strange character who's like very goofy, and he sings. It's the music, and there's something about him that's off. And you watch the movie, and as it progresses, all these people are getting murdered, and then you see them die. They're murdered in the town violently, and then you see them later in the movie living in the town. They like have what, like the guy they killed in the beginning ends up being like a gasoline guy in the town. He gives people, he does the whole gas and fixes your car. She's the auto mechanic basically, and they're like, "Who is this guy?" And they try to look him up, and they send his picture to St. Louis, where he's from, and so they make a connection where it's like he's been missing for 6 weeks, and they find out, no, he's right here, but it's not him. It can't be him. He's dead. And then, everybody in the town ends up being, you discover the sheriff is basically putting all the pieces together, and the sheriff finds out that the grandpa from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is resurrecting everybody.
Okay.
He's basically resurrecting the dead, and he's a mortician, so he wants them to be violently disfigured so he can rebuild their faces. And I guess him rebuilding their faces is remaking them that look like the actor who portrayed them in the movie in the beginning. So it's like you're not really doing anything differently. But
you had me at Grandpa from Charlie and Chocolate Factory.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Thank you for covering while I was gone.
Pretty much that's, and the big twist at the end is the sheriff's one of them. He's already dead, and he just doesn't know it, which you see coming a mile away.
If he's the sheriff of a town of dead people, I would already assume that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a good reveal, but it's just like, pretty simple, to the point 80s horror movie. And I watched keep on the horror train, Evil Dead Rise. Did you watch that one?
I did. I watched that last month.
Yeah, it was fine.
Evil Dead Rise. It was better than I expected, but just okay overall.
I was kind of bored.
Once I heard it was so great, they changed it from a VOD to theaters. I went, oh, okay.
Well, it made a lot of money. It was a big hit. Like, it did really well. It made like 180 million, something like that.
That has nothing to do with the quality of a movie, though.
No, but good for them. They made a bunch of money.
No, but bad for them because
Bruce Campbell
could doing a fucking Evil Dead movie every year now. If they keep making money like this.
Yeah. Well, if they could do an Evil Dead Army of Darkness movie again, like something like that, where it's funny, I welcome it. I would love to see a modern Ash. And I didn't watch the show, but I want the movie version.
I don't. Yeah, the show seemed like too much.
I saw the first season, but it's like, eh.
You know how Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, you have that step that you need to step on, the leap of faith?
Yes.
I wasn't willing. I literally picture that when I hear of that show, and I go,
yeah,
I'm not going to step out into the nothingness. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to watch. I love Evil Dead. I don't think those are amazing movies. I just think they're fun movies.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're great. They're whatever they are, whatever you think about them. I don't want to watch a TV show, though.
No.
It just seems like too much and not the right medium for me.
Right. No, you're right. Well, Evil Dead Rise, though, they all said, like, everyone said it's so gory. It wasn't that gory at all. I was kind of like surprised it wasn't that gory.
The Evil Dead remake was way gorier.
Yeah.
It rained blood.
And the guy gets
chainsaw and they're cutting off legs.
The guy gets his face stabbed multiple times with a syringe needle. Yeah,
This one, the only gore they had was when she fell in the wood chipper, which is, why do you have a wood chipper in the basement of an apartment building?
That was a bit
parking garage, I should say.
Right.
Why is that there?
It was silly.
And they had this stupid attached scene where the blonde girl at the end arrives at the apartment complex, and she parks the car, and then for no reason she walks way over there and gets the virus in her.
Yeah.
and goes to the cabin, which
Yeah,
the only reason the cabin scene was there to
whatever.
tie in the Evil Dead because they're all in cabins. It's so stupid.
Right. Yeah, it was stupid.
I
It's
did like the
whatever.
fact that they actually killed children in the movie.
Yeah,
I didn't think they would do that
they really do. Yeah,
right
they go.
away. They killed those
Yeah,
kids right away.
they really do. Yeah, I was
Like
surprised.
they
Like,
didn't
oh
give a
man,
shit.
I wish they would have done that in the Fablemans, the Steven Spielberg movie. I fucking
Okay.
hated.
Go ahead.
Oh my god, I wish those kids would have been killed by
This is
some
a movie you
evil
can
people.
spoil for me because I'll never watch it.
Oh, it's so up its own ass. Just watch the Spielberg documentary. It's more interesting, and it's just like it's just there's moments in the movie where it's so cringy. It's just like, ugh, give me a break. You know what? You're not the you just forget it. I just it really made me hate Spielberg. It's just like, ugh.
You
I'm
shouldn't
kind of
need a movie about yourself while you're alive.
no.
It's just weird. You know what I mean?
It's like it's about divorce, and it's about how his mom was basically having an affair on the husband who like didn't ask for anything. The husband was incredibly understanding to her because she's a fucking horrible bitch. Like she's this awful woman in the whole movie. She's just awful. Like I couldn't stand her. Michelle Williams was just such a bitch. Like she couldn't do dishes because she plays the piano, you know. So she's a musician. She can't dirty and ruin her fingers by doing dishes. So they eat on paper plates and paper utensils for the whole movie. And Paul Dano, the dad, is fine with it because he's actually making a living serving his family, like
Yeah.
working for IBM. He's making all this money, like trying to get up into the world of computers, like when it was starting. So he's like on the ground floor of that. So he's like a serious guy, and she's like the whimsical artist, and oh, you need artistry in life. It's like this guy is working his dick off for you, giving you everything you want, and you cheat on him with Seth Rogen. Fuck you.
You're already with one of my top 5 actors, Paul Dano.
Oh, he's great. Dano's good.
Paul Dano is fucking incredible.
Yeah,
And
he's good.
you say Seth Rogen?
Yeah, Seth Rogen is the best friend character who in real life, I guess Steven Spielberg's mom did have an affair and married the guy. So this is who she ended up marrying. And they loved each other, blah, blah, blah. But the Paul Dano, you feel bad for him because it's like, well, he loved her. It's just he couldn't express it. He just didn't have that in him. He was a
There's
serious
a whole
guy.
generation of people that don't know how to express it.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like
And
he was of that generation.
most of our parents don't know how to express it.
Right, yeah.
They either overcome that or they don't, but still, yeah, Paul Dano, oh man, I love that
He's
guy.
great. He's worth watching just for him. But like the only good scene is the end of the movie where young Steven Spielberg goes and talks to John Ford, played by David Lynch. That's the best part of the movie.
Really?
It's the last 5. It's online. You can watch it online. You just go on YouTube and watch the last 5 minutes. That's the best part of the movie.
Okay. Imagine the difference in directors for John Ford, who makes like the most accessible westerns of ever.
Yeah.
And then David Lynch in real life,
Right.
who makes the most inaccessible movies and shorts that you'll ever watch in your entire fucking life.
I don't care. It's bullshit.
No. The greatest interview clip ever. Do you care to expand on? Can you expand on that? No. That's his only response. Love the guy personally. Don't like his movies though.
These movies are all right. I don't hate him, but yeah, he's
It's
different.
50-50.
I like him though. Him
He
saying,
is fucking hilarious.
"Don't watch your movie on a fucking phone. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
don't do that."
He's not wrong. He's not
wrong
though.
No, he's right 100%. Like you can't watch a movie on.
But also make a movie that's worth watching on the screen, not confusing nonsense
that you can watch on your phone.
His movies are so confusing and nonsensical that you can watch on a phone and get the exact same amount out of.
I also watched The Way Back, which was the Ben Affleck drunk movie that COVID destroyed.
Oh, the basketball movie?
That was the movie that came out right when COVID shut down the world, so that nobody could watch it because it was basically, no one could go to the theater. So like that movie came out and then just died because no one was allowed to watch it.
Was it better than his second basketball movie that you watched in the theater? The
Air?
Yeah.
I liked them both. I think Way Back though is it's more of a drama, and it's actually it's a hardcore drama. Like it's like, oh shit, it's pretty deep. It
Is it
goes
really?
deep. Yeah, it's
Maybe I'll
surprising
watch it.
deep. It's good, but it's like it's kind of like, ooh, I don't
Don't
know.
spoil too much then. So I
No, well, yeah,
might have to watch it now.
because that's kind of like it kind of punches you in the stomach with the whole thing, and you're like,
Okay,
oh my
it's good
god,
because it looks
this
stupid as
is
hell. That
no,
movie.
it's good. It's really good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Surprisingly, since it's not what you think it is. It's a very
It looks
deep.
like one of those. I don't like
Yeah,
sports movies that much, except for Blue Chips. Other than
yeah,
that, I don't need
yeah.
another sports movie in my life.
No,
But
no,
it's actually got more layers to it than just a sports movie.
it's not a sports movie.
Well,
It
okay,
really
good.
isn't because
Keep in
he
mind,
does. Yeah,
I am so anti-sports movie that I kept hearing for my entire life, you gotta watch Remember the Titans. It's deeper
right.
than you think it is. It's so
Ah,
deep. The movie's so incredibly
well,
great, and I'm
okay.
watching it and go, I don't like it.
With the way back, let's just say this: it's the sports movie where he never goes to the championship game.
Okay, I'll watch it.
So, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Because that's
And
Blue Chips, he goes to one game.
yeah,
He goes, you know what? Fuck this. I made a horrible mistake.
I quit.
He quits after the first game of the season.
I
And is like,
quit.
you know what? Oh God.
Happy.
Blue
We
Chips
owe
is
it
my
to
top
him,
one.
Coach.
Happy. That's right, coach. And he's happy in the background. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And then he calls him up for real. And Happy's like, you
Nah.
son of a bitch, you shut the fuck up. JT Walsh.
You're through.
You're fucking down.
We're over. You're gonna get a job with high school basketball. You son of a
I want
bitch.
to, you know, they have movies that have the most swear words, like Big Lebowski and South Park movie.
Yeah.
I bet the word "God damn it"
Yes.
appears most in Blue Chips because Nick Nolte's
Absolutely.
goddamn players is like,
It's fucking TV. God damn it. It's not goddamn TV.
I was Tony fucking TV.
Fucking TV.
Anyway, sorry.
That's just what
I watched The Right Stuff finally.
Oh, okay.
Solid
Yeah,
movie.
that's a long one.
My friend from high school is always
It is
telling me to
good.
watch that. I don't like space movies that much, but I did enjoy it.
Space movie, like it's Star Wars. It's about the Apollo program. It's like,
Yeah, it's about going to space.
it's about literally going into space with John Glenn. It's not even Apollo. It's the trying to beat Sputnik.
Oh yeah, and they didn't beat it.
They didn't beat Sputnik.
But it was a good movie. I really liked it. Scott Glenn's great.
Yeah.
They're in it's like this small town in Texas, and there's like a little bar, and they're all hanging out there, and they all know each other, and that part was interesting to me, and that it drew me in.
Yeah.
And the characters who I thought would be main characters later, you see them. That movie has so many recognizable actors, and you're like,
Right.
all right, he's going to be a star. Oh no, Jeff Goldblum shows up as a recruiter for the NASA, like 3 scenes. Like,
Right,
okay, I guess he's not in the movie. But
yes.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was like 5 hours. That movie is so long.
It's long. It's a long movie. Yeah.
I watched The Suicide Squad, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a fun one.
Enjoy the hell out of it. Really
That's your mother.
Fun. Yeah. Enjoy the hell out of it. I watched Disney's Strange World.
Oh.
Don't watch it.
No, thank you.
Even if you like those kind of movies, don't watch it.
Yeah.
I watched because Hulu had it. The Orphan 1 and 2, the new one.
Oh, okay.
I had not seen them apparently. I thought I did, but
I've seen the first Orphan, not the second Orphan.
I thought I saw the first one too. Didn't. Watching
Okay.
it, I'm like, I thought I saw this, but I guess I saw The Orphanage, Guillermo del Toro's The
Right.
Orphanage.
Yes, the producing.
That's what I saw.
Yes.
And I realized, oh, this is not the movie I thought it was going to be.
Santino. Oh wait, that's the other one.
Yeah.
That was
The Orphan, I had no idea what the fuck is going on. I'm like, oh, okay, so we'll just rewatch it. And I watched it and I was like, okay. And the second one has Julia Stiles, who's another like weird crush of mine.
Oh, okay.
I do have a weird thing for Julia Stiles.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the tall, skinny girls, but something about her, you know?
I like the short, fat girls.
No, but she looks like a younger version of Joan Allen, who I make fun of all the time in Face Off, where it's like, ooh, whoa, I love to watch you go. She has no ass.
I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Wow. Yeah. But Julia Stiles is the same body type, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. But that movie, the second one, The Orphan, the it's called like First Kill. It's a prequel.
Right. Yeah.
So I was immediately like, "Fuck this movie," and I realized they're doing something different. And I will say, without getting into any details, caught me by surprise, and I'm glad I watched it. It is definitely better than the first one.
Well, speaking of surprise,
Yes,
Dungeons and Dragons. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was a lot of fun.
the Chris Pine
The Chris
sequel.
Pine new one, the one that came out in theaters and
Yeah,
immediately went to Paramount Plus, where I got
everyone
to
said
watch
it's
it for free.
hilarious.
So it's a fun movie. It's a lot of fun. It was very, very well done. I was like, okay, this is good. I like this.
My
This
wife
is-
wants to watch it, so
It's worth watching. It's fun.
it's on Paramount
It's really
Plus.
good. It's on Paramount Plus for free. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'll tell her there because she wants to watch it. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like medieval stuff.
Well, it's not that.
I know, but I don't like that sort of sword and cave.
Right.
Movie. I don't like that sort of
Well,
stuff.
yeah, it's better than your average.
I'm sure it is.
They make light of it. They make the jokes are funny. Stuff happens where it's very self-referential.
It's
The guys that wrote No Way Home did this one, so it's
Oh,
like
really?
okay. They know.
It's
they
a
know what
movie
they're doing,
I'll
yeah.
put on, and then I'll go, and I'll start doing the dishes, and then I find
Yeah,
myself watching
vacuum.
it, going like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch the rest of this. So that's my
Yeah.
plan for this.
No, it's good. It's worth watching.
I watched The Bridge on River Kwai finally.
Ooh, that's a long one. Yeah. What have I done?
I liked it. I have nothing else to say about it.
It's very good.
We talked about this during text. I was like, I like this movie. It does nothing for me.
Right, exactly.
Like it's a good movie. I can't deny
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, personally, I don't like Oxbow Incident is the same movie.
No.
Where it's like not the same. I just mean I think what other people get out of Bridge on River Kwai is what I get out of Oxbow Incident.
Right, yeah.
I find that movie more stimulating. This is just an action version of that movie, but I did enjoy a lot of scenes in this movie and fun characters, and
yeah.
I watched.
Well, it's a classic. It was David
Yeah,
Lean.
I can't deny that. Like,
yeah.
You know, like I said with Jaws, I'm like, I don't like Jaws at all, but it's a classic. People love it. I can't deny them that, and just for me, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I watched Violent Night in May as well.
I enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun.
It's okay. I was hoping
This
for
is
way more
fun.
Johnny
This is-
Legs. I was hoping for more out of him.
Yeah.
Good
It was
movie.
just, I got what I got out of it. I didn't have any expectations. Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Didn't it feel like though? During the movie, I'm sitting there and I talked to my wife, and I'm like, this feels like it needed like 3 to 4 more drafts on the script.
You're not wrong.
For why Johnny Legs is there and what they're doing. It just feels so
Right.
like we don't quite have this fleshed out yet. It just felt so unprepared, and it
Well,
ruins.
Did you ever see?
David Harbour in that movie is so fun, and it just kind of ruins it.
Well, did you ever see Fat Man, the Mel Gibson version of
No.
that movie?
No.
Watch Fat Man. It's darker. It's more.
Better?
I don't know if it's better, but it's darker.
Darker would be better.
But Walton Goggins is hired by a kid to go assassinate Santa because he didn't give him what he wanted for Christmas. So Walton Goggins is on the trail of
You've already sold me.
It's funny. And there's a great scene where he's in a pet store and a woman's talking to him. He goes, you remind me of my mother. She didn't know when to shut the fuck up either. I think it's great.
Walton Goggins says that?
Walton Goggins said it.
Walton Goggins is another guy who's in my like top 10 to 15.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
But yeah. And he's in one of my shows I'm going to bring up here in a minute.
Yeah, I would say watch Fat Man. If you saw Violent Night, watch Fat Man because it's interesting. It's different.
In May, I also watched Wrath of Man because, like I said, I was on a Guy Ritchie.
Oh yeah, it's a fun one. I like that one.
I liked it.
I like revenge
was
movies.
not nearly as good as his like great movies, but it was way better than I kept hearing it was.
It's a serviceable revenge movie. That's all I want.
It is. I liked everything about it.
Everybody dies.
Every single person
Pretty
except
much
Jason Statham died in that movie.
Yeah. Everyone dies horribly.
It is a violent movie. It is a confusing movie because they go into this cop shop.
Yeah.
It's not even a cop shop. It was like a.
No, it's a.
They act like the security armored car service is the biggest heist of all time.
Right.
They have 6,000 guards there.
Yeah.
But people are getting shot, and I'm like, who's that? Who's dying?
Yeah.
I can't tell who's dying. It's just had a little problem with that. But overall, by the end of the movie, I was like, that was a good movie. Now I want to watch his next movie after his 2 movies he made after that in the same year.
The one from Netflix,
The Covenant, and then what's that the French one?
right? Yeah, with Hugh Grant and
Yeah,
all the
also
pauses in
Jason
that.
Statham.
Well, yeah, there you go.
What is that called? Like
I can't remember something specific.
the Covenant is
I
one of
think
them.
the
That's the Jake
Covenant is the
Gyllenhaal
Jake
one.
Gyllenhaal one that came out in theaters. I kind of want to see that one too.
And then
I don't
some other
remember.
movie that looks just like this movie that I'm talking about.
I think it was a direct to
In
Netflix
French.
movie though.
No, I think it's Operation Fortune, right?
Yeah, I think it's on
Yeah.
Netflix. Yeah,
No, it came to theaters.
did it? I feel like it was a Netflix movie.
It was real brief. Like
Yeah.
real like Covenant actually had posters up when I went and saw Super Mario Brothers. I'm like,
oh yeah.
It's literally called in the title Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
Right.
And I'm like, oh god. I thought Madonna was his peak of ego, but apparently this
Madonna.
All right.
That's
what do you got?
I
I'm
did
halfway through my list now.
I'm almost done. I didn't have I watched Creed 2, which was interesting.
I didn't like it as much as you did.
I thought it was fine. I didn't love it, but I was like, oh, it's fine.
Did you like how little dialogue they gave to what's her name?
Oh, Tessa, the mother,
the one from Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah.
They gave her like 2 lines, and she's like,
"She was married to Sylvester Stallone for fuck's sake in the 80s."
Yes,
Bridget Nielsen.
They gave her like 1.5 lines.
I guess she was pregnant in that scene, so
she's 63 there.
She's 63 exactly,
and
smoking
and drunk,
smoking a cigarette. My baby is coming.
She was literally on Celebrity Rehab.
Like, my buddy was on her show. My buddy John, he was working in NBC, CBS, and on the show. She had when she was with Flavor Flav. Remember that Flavor of Love?
Oh,
and he's on there smoking a cigarette with her.
Reality TV.
Well, yeah, I watched it because my buddy was in it, and he showed me. It was hilarious. And he's smoking a cigarette with her. She goes, "You remind me of my son." He goes, "Great." And he's smoking a cigarette. He's just like shaking his head, like, "Get me out of here! I don't want to be here." What? It's so awkward. It's so fucking funny.
I'm not gonna find this. Am I?
Oh, I couldn't. No, don't worry about it.
No,
don't bother.
It's too much. Yeah, it's just too much.
No.
What else you got?
Uncut Gems. I finally watched.
Oh, is that worth watching?
It's long. It's very, very, very long.
Like 2.5 hours.
That's
right?
fine. It's good. It's fine. It's not amazing. It's fine. I don't know. It didn't. He's okay. He plays just his acting is him being very, very Jewish,
very Jewy,
over the top, very Jewy. Like the whole movie is Jewy, and you're just like, it's kind of makes you anti-Semitic. It's kind of like, I don't think I like Jews anymore. They're so gross, and the whole movie's like that.
Part of the reason I skipped it is because I kept hearing, "You should see this. Adam Sandler's actually trying, and he's a really good actor." And I go, "He did that in 2002."
Yeah, it's called Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love, in an incredible fucking movie and an incredible fucking performance. He honestly should have been nominated for that movie. He's so good in that movie, and nobody gave a shit. And I was like, "Where were you guys then?" So I got a little bit of hate in my heart for that.
Well, nobody gave a shit now because he didn't get nominated for this either, so it didn't happen.
But was he amazing in this? I think he's actually he should have been nominated for Punch Drunk Love.
He's fine. He's not playing a retard, but he's just playing a Jewish guy he's got a gambling obsession, and he just gambles, and that he's just a degenerate gambler. It's basically The Darker the Gambler. If you ever saw The Gambler with the new one with Mark Wahlberg, or the old one.
No, but I have it on Steelcase because it was $5 at Walmart.
Oh my god, it's not very good. The Wahlberg one sucks. The Jimmy Kahn one is somewhat interesting.
Well, we both love Jimmy Kahn, so
we both love Jimmy Kahn.
Should definitely recommend that version. I've seen part of the Jimmy Kahn version. I've never seen the Mark Wahlberg one.
And I think we've discussed the ending of the original Gambler.
It's been a while. It's been a long time since I saw that.
It's interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Very interesting. Very different.
Do you
But
recommend watching Uncut Gems?
yeah, it's worth watching
Okay,
once. But you could
I'll
fast
watch
forward
it.
it.
Yeah,
You can fast forward it.
what platform is that on now? Is it Netflix or
I
HBO
think
Max?
it's on. I watched it on. I think Paramount Plus.
Really? Okay.
I think it was on Paramount Plus or Hulu.
Is your
One
Paramount
of
Plus
those.
working better now?
It works the same.
Really? I don't have that problem with Paramount Plus.
It kind of
Once
glitches a
I
little bit
did,
here and there.
but it was my internet going out. So
It might be a little bit of both.
my last movie in May, I have other TV shows, but my last movie in May is Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Oh, I didn't watch that one. Didn't care.
And I would say, don't bother.
Right. Thank you.
My only note: Lucy Liu, Helen Mirren,
Ooh,
some hot Indian girl.
yeah.
Other than that, it's one of those movies like Black Adam. You watch it and you're like, that was exactly what the trailer looked like it would be.
Right.
I did not need to watch that. All the DC movies are now like that because I finally caught up on the 3 DC movies I never watched. One of them I fucking loved, which was the James Gunn Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
That was a very violent, hilarious movie.
Yes.
I loved it. I genuinely loved that movie. I would
It's a fun
rewatch
movie.
it whenever.
Yeah.
The other two, Black Adam and then Shazam.
Shazam!
I don't need to watch those again.
Shazam!
They're both better than the Wonder Woman 84, which fuck
Well,
that.
anything's better than that piece of shit.
Holy shit. I've never been so on board with the internet trolls as I was
Blood,
with 84.
Blood in Your Stool is better
Fucking
than Wonder
so
Woman 84.
dumb.
Ugh.
3 movies in June I watched Mr. Harrigan's Phone, which is a Stephen King
right, yeah,
story.
yeah.
The only reason I watched it.
Donald Sutherland.
It's Donald Sutherland. He looks like he's ready for the grave, which is what the show's about.
Look at my phone. I'm calling you. I'm dead.
Yeah. The movie is nonsensical, but also at the same time, nothing happens. So it doesn't matter. The movie is a complete waste of time. Do not watch it. I didn't hate it, but nothing happened. Like coincidental, some stuff happens. And then he's like, I bet it was his spirit looking out for maybe. Okay. So stupid. Don't watch it.
Sure.
The other movie I won't mention because it ties in the other shows I watched, but I did watch Nope finally.
Which one?
Nope. The Jordan Peele.
Oh, Nope.
Peele.
Okay.
Nope.
Right. Yeah. I still haven't watched that.
I love Jordan Peele's movies.
Right. Yeah.
I love Get Out. I love even way more. I love Us.
Right. Yeah.
That movie's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like top 15, top 20 horror movies somewhere.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But Nope was just kind of.
Really?
Yeah. It lacked any of the punch of the other two. Like the other two had those. So like I like his movies. He did a Twilight Zone 2020 that we watched and have done his episodes of. And Nope felt more in line with those where it's like, what are you trying to say here? I don't quite. Get Out and Nope were very clear, very precise. We're doing this. Here we go. Nope was like, here's a good idea. We're gonna meander, and here you go. And you're like, okay, that was fun. I don't regret watching it. I would definitely rewatch it, but it's not gonna stick with me. I'm not looking forward to seeing it again.
Right.
Us, I'll watch whenever. I love that movie. This one I didn't really care for that much. Do you have something else you want to finish your list, or you want me to keep going?
I'll just do. I'll finish it up. I saw McBain, which is the oddest Christopher Walken action movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I was picturing The Simpsons.
Well, that's why they stopped using McBain, because that movie, it's hilarious. It's just a bizarre film. It's so wacky. McBain. It's not even like he's the star of the movie, which is even weirder. Because like it just starts. The movie starts in Vietnam, and it's Michael Ironside is
91.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Ironside is with this group of commandos, and they're killing people, and it's their last day in Vietnam. So they're on the chopper out of Hanoi or whatever. So they're on the chopper leaving Vietnam, and they stumble upon a POW camp, and the guy in charge says, "Bring us down there. We got to save those guys." He says, "Why? You're done." "No, man, we got to save those guys." So they go down, and McBain is there in the cage, which is Christopher Walken. He's a prisoner of war, and he's about to be executed. He's going to be put in this death ring with a guy to fight. So he has a knife, and they're wanting to kill this other prisoner. So he's in like a pit fight, and so these Vietnam. This is the first 2 minutes of the movie. Literally 2 minutes of the movie. 2 minutes into the movie, and they come in. They
out of 107 minutes,
pretty much, yeah. And so the guy that saves McBain, who is Christopher Walken, he gives him half of $100 bill, and he says, "Look, man, my name is blah blah blah. Whenever like you're back in the world,
look
this. Me up, yeah." What is this? Oh, hold on.
Budget 16 million, box office 456,000.
That would be correct. Yeah, McBain is a very, very strange film. It is bonkers.
This looks terrible.
So McBain, well, the whole point of the movie is this guy that freed him is a freedom fighter in Colombia. So flash forward 20 years, Vietnam's over. McBain is like an oil worker in some.
Oh, Steve James.
Yeah, Steve James is one of them.
Okay.
Steve James, Michael Ironside, and some other guys in there, and Maria Conchita Alonso is in there.
Yeah,
she's the girl from Running Man. Luis Guzman. That's actually the best part of the whole movie. Luis Guzman is the best part of the movie because the whole point. Okay, so here's the deal.
Original title: McBain 7.
Yeah, because 7 of them go after for revenge to kill the Presidente of Colombia.
Sorry, go ahead.
So that's the whole thing. Because the guy was he was a rebel, like he was a guerrilla in Colombia. He was trying to take over the Colombian government.
Oh God!
And he gets executed on television. McBain watches it, and he pulls out the $100 bill, and he's like, "Oh man, I owe him still." And so like the sister travels to America from Colombia to get in touch with him, to get the gang together. This is 20 minutes into the movie. All this happens like relatively fast. And Michael Ironside is like a multi-millionaire, and they go to him. They say like, "Hey, we want your help. Can you get us information to get us into this blah, blah, blah country or whatever?" And he says, "You got to need about $10 million to start." And he says, "Okay, we can get that money somewhere." So they go and bust Luis Guzman, who's just a local drug addict, a drug dealer. So they kill everybody around.
Drug dealers in Colombia? It was a sci-fi.
No. This is in New York City. they ain't in Colombia yet. They have to make money to get to Colombia because they have to finance their trip to Colombia.
Wow. They have to collect funds for their trip to South America.
They basically say they have to have $10 million to make this work because they have to buy equipment and get to South America.
I didn't realize it was so low budget. Okay.
So it's $10 million to invade a foreign country, apparently. And that's what they do. And McBain, with his friends, they go kill Luis Guzman's whole operation. He goes, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You gonna kill me? Fuck, man. I'm just a guy trying to earn a living. Do you see 8-year-old kids getting drugs here? No, they're all adults, okay?" And he goes, "You see all the guys you killed? This guy's trying to make a living, man." And he just goes off. He goes, "Why don't you guys go kill the real money, which is up in Wall Street, and the big the big mafia guys over there?" And that's what they end up doing. They go kidnap a mafia guy and hang him upside down, and they get $10 million out of him. It's just a bizarre movie.
1990. Everyone.
It's worth watching. It's on Amazon. It's free right now. It wasn't free for a minute. For a while, you had to pay $3 to watch it. Now it's free again. So it worth.
Did you pay $3 or did you watch it for free?
No, I watched it for free because I was like, "Oh, it's free. I gotta watch it before it's too late."
You also unabashedly love Christopher Walken.
I do. And anytime I can watch him and he's like, so he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't try in this movie. He literally falls from the roof and shoots the Presidente as he's falling, and that's the end of the movie. He's just like, "Okay, I'm done, over, yawn. Where's my check?"
There's only really 3 Christopher Walken movies I need: Deer Hunter, True Romance, and oh shit, what the fuck was the third one I was going to mention? Seven Psychopaths. That's it.
I would say Seven Psychopaths, Batman Returns.
Yeah,
At
okay,
Close
you're right.
Range.
Max Shrek, his character. You're right. You're right.
At Close Range. You gotta watch At Close Range.
Or I have not seen that.
Watch At Close Range. I think At Close Range. That's one of the greatest screen villains of all time. Is Christopher Walken.
Okay,
He is so evil.
Maybe that's number 5. I've never seen
He
it.
is so evil in that movie. You gotta watch that one.
At
that one's great.
Close Range, 86 by James Foley.
Yeah, great movie.
Sean Penn. Oh God, I have a problem with Sean Penn.
Well, he is so Ryan Gosling in this movie.
Oh, good. Who I also can't stand.
He is so Ryan Gosling.
All right. As far as movies, in July I watched The Meg.
Ha! Very good.
I don't know why my sister-in-law wanted to watch it, and I sat there and we left during the last half hour, and I came back and the next day and I watched the last half hour. It's stupid, but I was like, I'm sure you feel the same way. Can't stand watching an hour and a half of a movie and not watching the last half hour.
Right. Yeah.
You might as well just finish it so I could say I watched it.
Yeah.
I also watched earlier in that day. I watched The Menu.
Oh yeah, Menu's good. I like The Menu.
I liked it. I didn't love it, but I did enjoy it.
I liked the whole whispering and Nicholas Holt's ear, and he hangs himself.
I loved everything Ray Fiennes did was just perfection. He is so fucking good in that movie. He's the only character you need to watch. It's Ray Fiennes' movie. The rest is just whatever.
I agree.
He is stellar in that movie. He finally got to do it.
Johnny Legs is in that one too.
He is. Johnny Legs is in a bunch of movies that you kind of ignore his character in.
Why am I here? Because I spent my Sunday watching you.
Yes.
And it was so horrible that I wasted my only day of freedom. But I didn't write it, I didn't direct it, but it was your face. I remember. Your face is what did it. So you're gonna die.
But I love that John
Leguizamo you're gonna die.
Agrees with him so much. He goes, but and sits back down.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah. Funny. Yeah, everyone accepts their fate at the end. It's like, all right, you win. You're right. I'm out.
Ray Fiennes has a great line later on in the movie where he's like, you guys really could have fought back harder. There's only like 4 of us that could have stopped you. You could have walked out here at any time.
Yeah.
And they're all like, oh, shit, you're right.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. So they become part of his masterpiece. And whatever. I don't care about that. I did enjoy the performances. It's a fun movie. Nicholas Hoult gets shamed and goes and hangs himself in the back room. And you just see him like slightly moving.
I'm just so sad that Anna Taylor-Joy got so skinny. She used to be so hot, and now she looks terrible.
Yeah,
she used to be like a weird hot. She's like a weird hot.
When was she ever not super skinny though? She's always been.
No, now. If you watch her in the Vivitch, she's got boobies. You watch her in Last Night in Soho, she's got boobies going on, and then now she doesn't have anything. It's just like, ugh. Why do you do this to yourself? Why?
She's not like someone I look at and I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, I think she's attractive enough. She's the perfect mix of weird looking and very attractive, which is kind of it's kind of a niche area.
Any woman.
You're not going to see her in like swimsuit, that sort of
right. Thing. Yeah. Well, you do.
Yeah, she's terrible in the X-Men spinoff thing they did.
The new mutants.
And the Russian, I was raped. My whole character is about people who raped me. Like, oh God!
I turned into bear. And I eat people. That's my job.
Her whole thing is like smiley man who rapes you. It's like, come on, why?
Fantastic, wonderful.
All right. I'll quickly go through this. I wanted to watch Better Call Saul, but I needed to show my wife Breaking Bad first. So during our break, we watched all of Breaking Bad, and she got pissed at the end, or pissed
really
for the last season, and I thought that meant she didn't like it. She's like, "No, fuck this. Let's turn it off. Let's not even watch this." And I was like, "No," but I'm like, "That's a good sign that she was upset by what happened." Some stuff. I don't know. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to spoil anything.
The last
stuff was
season,
happening in Breaking Bad, and she was not liking it. She didn't like Walter. I'm like, that's the good response. You're not supposed to like Walter. It took me until my
No,
second
you're not.
rewatch to not like Walter, though. So
Well,
first
I always
watch
thought he
it
was a bad guy.
real, yeah, but it was real time, and I'm like rooting for him. And then anytime I've seen the show like 5 times now. Anytime after that, I'm like, fuck that guy. He's such a piece of shit. Like now I know the truth because I've seen the ending and everything. And I've seen it all the way through.
Right.
And I was like, all right, now I want to watch Better Call Saul because I've only seen a few episodes and I want to see it. We watched the El Camino movie because that was next, and that was the prequel, or sorry, but after Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul's character. Good movie, not amazing or anything, but it was kind of like an extended episode. It was definitely worth watching if you're a fan of Breaking Bad. Can't really say anything else.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul. We finally watched it. Watched all 6 seasons of it.
Wow.
There's more episodes of Better Call Saul than there is of Breaking Bad.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I always thought that was funny.
Watched it, and I remember seeing people on Facebook, all my friends, being like, Better Call Saul is greater than Breaking Bad, or I love this show way more. It's way more intense. And I go, no, not even close.
Yeah, right.
I'll probably never watch Better Call Saul again, even though I love Bob Odenkirk because I've known him since I was 11.
Right.
The show, but I'm never gonna watch Better Call Saul again. I loved it, but I don't need to rewatch it. A lot of it was like wasted time, and it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere ever.
Right. Yeah.
I love watching certain segments of the show and certain characters, but overall, not nearly. Oh, you guys fucking crazy. And that's all I really have to say about that show.
Right.
I watched Rick and Morty season 6. Nothing to say there. I watched Cabinet of Curiosities last month.
Right. Yeah, you caught with that
seen
one.
That.
I saw that one when it came out originally.
It was exactly like you described. It was like
Yeah.
83% decent, and that last 17% was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking terrible. And yeah, it was. I was like just kind of waiting for the monster of the week to show up at a certain point.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting Kate McCucci episode with Martin Starr where she's married to him and she puts the makeup on, and it's an exact replica of that 85 Twilight Zone episode that we watched.
Right. Yeah.
Aquafina or Aquavita.
Yeah.
Aquavita.
Yeah.
All I could think about was that episode. And I'm like, but I love Kate McCucci and Martin Starr, so I'm like, I'm not complaining, but
Right.
I knew where it was going and just kind of had to wait for it.
What else was she in? Because I was like, she looks familiar, and I've seen her before.
She's in her and oh my god, what the fuck is her name? I'm sorry, Ricky Lindholm are part of they have a they had an IFC show called Garfunkel and Oates, which are both kind of like the backup people in their bands, and that I love them both. But yeah, that's a good episode. But I loved that second episode with the rats.
Oh, really?
Which I did not expect to love.
Yeah, that's shocking to me. That was okay.
No, I agree.
Fine.
I loved that episode.
Wow. Okay.
Episode 3 had the character where I had to explain to my wife that guy caught me and saved my life on a skateboard once.
Yes.
F. Murray Abraham shows up in the autopsy.
Yes.
That was the only reason I didn't love that episode because it was too much body horror for me. I don't like that stuff. You know that. I just didn't care.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else left on your list? Because I can go into kind of a final sprint here.
I watched Indy 5. I saw MI7. I saw.
Would you recommend Indy 5?
It's worth watching, but it's just boring. Indiana Jones is so old he can't do anything. He literally does nothing in the movie. Like all he can do is like solve the puzzles, and like that's about all he does. He doesn't kill anybody. He doesn't even kill the main bad guys. They just all crash in the plane. Like and nobody is.
Isn't that happened in the last movie?
Pretty much. Well, he fought more guys in the last movie. It's better than Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull's almost unwatchable. This movie at least was somewhat watchable. And the Helena Shaw character, who's like everyone's bitching about how she's a feminist, she's gonna take over Indy, and she's a little bit of that, but it's not to the point where it's like that annoying. It's just she's she's tolerable. And then she has her own short round, which I don't believe. He sucks. He was terrible, and he's a murderer. He kills one of the big old thugs in the movie, like horribly murders a man.
Hey, the short round I know has an Oscar. Okay.
Yes, he does.
That is fucked up.
The world we live in now.
You and I watched that in person together, and saw Short Round win a fucking Oscar.
I go first, Indy.
Did not see that coming.
Harrison Ford, 0 Oscar. Short Round, 1. Like, what the fuck?
He can piss on his grave with his Oscar in his hands.
Oh, Mr. Jones, Dr. Jones.
Honestly, but you say that, but also, what do you think Harrison Ford deserved an Oscar for? What single performance was like that was Oscar?
Witness is good.
Okay. Do you think he deserved the Oscar?
Yeah. Who else? Who won that year? Let's find out. Who beat Harrison Ford? I think that's the only time he was ever nominated. Either was for that. Was Witness. I wonder if he was.
Witness is 85. So was that Jack Nicholson? I don't even know. Who won the 1985 Oscar Best Actor? F. Murray Abraham. Oh, speaking of.
Oh, Amadeus. There you go.
Let's get to F. Murray Abraham. No.
Yes.
He was.
Oh, in the last Cabinet of Curiosities. Yeah. No, that was probably my favorite episode. Was that one?
I like the rat one better.
I like that one. Really? Okay.
Yeah. It caught me off guard because I hate that time period for these stories. The 1980 or 1880s and that sort of. I hate it. That's why I don't like what's his name. The horror. Adam and I would always disagree. What's his name? Lovecraft. Fucking hate him. And they even have a Lovecraft story in this.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that way more than the Twilight Zone 85 did.
Yeah, it's the same story basically, but
it was what was that story? Shit.
It was Pickman's Model.
Pickman's Model. So first of all, started off with some pretty sweet nudity, and then from there.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, from there it got a lot more interesting because you had him he seemed like a sad sack, and it got way more interesting than the original 80s when it was just him talking to a lady at a bar and get married, and just so boring. But
right, yeah.
Okay, I digress. I also watched a few more episodes of 2-Sentence Horror Stories. I probably watched 8 more episodes.
Oh God,
that fucking show sucks so bad. Fuck that show.
I could have told you that.
No, but I just finished the Guillermo del Toro show, and I'm like, I want to keep the anthology train rolling.
Right.
I watched 2-Sentence Horror Stories because it's also on Netflix, and I was like, this fucking show is so terrible.
It's written by 12-year-old girls. They're terrible.
So bad.
So bad. Those are.
It's like if what is that stupid ass forum that everyone goes on online? And they have the replies. No, the replies to each other. It's like the even darker web and Facebook.
Oh, I don't know.
Reddit. It's Reddit.
Okay.
It's made into a TV show. Right. It's fucking terrible. It's on the CW. Fucking show sucks.
That's awful.
I did watch all 5 of the Pirates movies.
Ooh.
I've only seen the first 3. So
that's
a lot.
I
eventually watched the last 2.
Long ass movies.
It was our married couple, the girl who I can't stand, and then what's his name? The guy actor I love.
Johnny Depp?
No.
Ian McShane.
No.
Ian
McShane is in the 4th one, but
yeah, he is. With
Penelope Cruz is in the 4th one, and that's my least favorite one.
I can't remember which one that was.
But then her real life husband is in 5.
Yes.
And I loved him. I like that movie. It's one of my 3rd favorite pirate movie. What? Blanking on names, don't give a shit. Doesn't matter.
Not really. There's not too many pirate movies to choose from, though.
We watched Waco: The Aftermath, which is definitely worth watching. If you ever saw Waco, it's on HBO Max, I believe.
No, yeah. No, Waco, I think it's Showtime.
Yes, you're right. Showtime. We watched Waco, liked it. Watched Waco: The Aftermath, loved it way more than the original. it's a courtroom drama, and I was way more in the wake of the aftermath than the actual show. Because I knew I saw it live when Waco happened, you know? I didn't need a show to remind me, so I didn't remember the aftermath stuff though. That courtroom stuff is fucked up. What happened to all of them?
Right.
The very last episode is so fucked up because it's all real. I also watched Black Mirror every single
Yes.
episode.
Wow! You
And
got into the Black Mirror train.
I fucking hate that show, and now I love it. Now I'm one of those guys.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, there was one episode I watched that just completely turned me around, and I've finished the episodes, and then the new season dropped, and I finished that like right when I finished the season previous, it came out, and I was like, this is perfect. And I watched all of it, and I was like, all right, we're back to season 1. Watch that. I'm a big fan of that show now because I realized they're not serious. They're actually comedies.
Right.
The writer of that show is not a serious person at all, and I thought it was so serious. So now I'm kind of watching it with a fresh eye because the writer's like, don't take this seriously. It's not supposed to be a like dark. It's making fun of this and making fun of you, and I'm like, okay. So that did help kind of change your lens on when I rewatched it.
Right.
But I did enjoy it. I watched The Midnight Club on Netflix. One of the Mike Flanagan shows.
Yeah, I guess so depressing nobody wanted to watch it.
Christopher Pike. It's based on a Christopher Pike book, and it's Christopher Pike books, I should say.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
9 kids.
Good, but not great. Definitely worth a watch, but don't expect anything out of that show. No. Just appreciate it moment by moment, and that's all you need to know.
And now Michael Flanagan is so mad at, so pissed off at Warner Brothers that he left. Oh no, it was Netflix. He was so pissed off at Netflix he went to Amazon because they had to deal with him to do some other miniseries, and he says, you know what? They fucked him on something, and he left. And he was going to do something Stealing the Children for Netflix, but then the people who did Dark are taking over that project, which is good.
Which is stupid because the people who did Dark have already failed at their second show.
Well, it just costs too much, and Netflix doesn't want to pay.
Yeah,
for those
films, which is a failure.
Well, I mean, it's just Netflix being an asshole. It's like, well, guys, give it time to breathe. It just came out. Fuck you, it's gone. We can't spend that much money.
They canceled 1899 so fast.
Yeah.
Like within, I'd say, a month of it coming out, they're like done. Like you got to let people breathe, especially a show that eclectic.
Well, sure.
Let people breathe it in for a while. Then, but whatever. After the Midnight Club, I wanted to watch the next Mike Flanagan because I'm obsessed with the guy. I watched Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
And I kept hearing, because I talked to Jansen, he loved Midnight Club.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh God, that was okay. Like, it was good, but I didn't love it. I liked it a lot. But Midnight Mass, I genuinely fucking loved. And
I heard that's
he told me that show was just okay. And I'm like, I fucking love that show.
He doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
Yeah. That is 30 Days a Night.
Yeah.
Plus a Stephen King movie, which has always been Mike Flanagan's like sweet spot.
That's why he wants to do Dark
vaguely
Tower.
Stephen King-ish.
Yeah, he's gonna do Dark Tower. I can't wait.
Yeah, Midnight Mass though, I definitely recommend watching that show. Don't expect much, just watch it for what it is. It is definitely worth the watch. But you will not stop comparing it to 30 Days a Night, Dick.
No.
I only have 3 more things. Should I just finish, or you have something else?
Finish.
Okay.
Blow them out of the water.
The reason I gave you my Disney Plus password, I watched Mandalorian season 3.
Yes.
It was definitely the best season of the entire series.
Wow, everyone hates it too. It's so funny.
Season 2 is the fucking worst.
No, everybody hates Mandalorian season 3. It's universally hated.
The last 2 episodes are fucking incredible.
They hate them. They hate it.
Season 2 sucks.
You're talking about Star Wars fans. They hate everything Star Wars. They hate everything. They hate it.
I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So season 3 had I don't know. I enjoyed way more than season 2 sucks.
Wow, yeah. Everyone thinks
Season 2, they brought in what's his name, Boba Fett, and that
yeah,
shit
that's
feels
season
so
two.
fucking wasted.
Oh no, I think season 2 is very well done. Everyone loves season 2. They think it's the best one.
So you're part of that, apparently.
Well, yeah, it's very well done, especially because Book of Boba Fett. They bring Boba Fett back, and his character has an arc, and he's interesting. But I just love the fact that everyone hated Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett as well.
I
They hated
fucking
that one.
hated Book of Boba Fett.
They hated that one too because they want Robert Rodriguez never to direct anything Star Wars again. They had a Twitter
I don't care about that.
feed that was about that, and then
You know what was worse than Book of Boba Fett was the Obi-Wan show.
yeah, Obi-Wan. The only good episodes on
That
Obi-Wan
fucking
was the
show
last
sucked.
two. The last episode was good, but that's about it.
Yeah, it definitely got there. By the time you
sorry, I found you. Anakin, I found you.
By the time you got what you wanted, it's like, oh, bye-bye. It's like,
it's stupid.
It's him hiding in caves for 7 episodes and then finally doing something.
Ewan McGregor begged for the show because he had a divorce. He needs money. And this is all he's got left, to a big payout, because he wants to do a season 2. I don't know how you're going to do a season 2. It makes no sense. It kind of ruins the whole original trilogy if he has a second season, because it's like, what are you going to answer now? How did he learn to do that great dragon call? Let's see that origin story take place. It's like, fuck you. Stop it.
I felt all of the Boba Fett stuff from season 2 of Mandalorian was very clumsy and forced to appease the fans.
No,
that's what I felt.
I understand, but you're wrong.
That's fine.
But no, everyone hates season 3. Like, everyone hates it. Universally hated.
All of them band together to protect their own home planet, and I was like, I'm so invested in these 2 episodes.
Sure, yeah.
That's the last 2 episodes of the season.
Yeah, people hate it.
I was like, here we go. This is what the show should be.
They bitched and moaned. A lot of people bitched and moaned about it and didn't like it. A lot of the reactionary people liked the show, but they consider this is okay. Here we go with Star Wars fans. Bryce Dallas Howard, they loved her. They loved her in season 2 because she directed the best episode. Oh no, Book of Boba Fett. She directed that Book of Boba Fett episode where Mandalorian comes back. So everybody loved her for like a year.
Do you mean the episode where Boba Fett is not in the episode?
Exactly. Yes.
I can tell you something about the Book of Boba Fett. That fucking show sucks.
Well, people agreed with you.
Fuck Star Wars fans.
Well, no, but the problem is, and I guess the true story, which one day will come out, the rumor is that was never supposed to happen. Grogu and Mandalorian were never supposed to come into Boba Fett show. He was supposed to have 2 years off, and he was going to be 2 years with Luke Skywalker, trained to be a Jedi, and he gets back later. But Kathleen Kennedy said, no, Grogu is the star of the show, of the series, because we're selling Baby Yoda toys. So
which is why I don't like season 2.
We need to get him out front and center, and we need to sell everything we can to make money for the company, and that's all she did. And that's why she won't get fired, because even though she should by now, Indiana Jones, she should be fired. That's it. She should be gone.
No, she is the Paul Feig of the Disneyverse, of the Star Wars Disneyverse. Okay. I have problems with season 2 because of it's not cohesive as a season. That's my main problem with season 2. It is all these disparate elements combined, and then they throw in Boba Fett to appease the fans, and none of it ties together for me. And I'm like, this feels so desperate. And it was clearly a setup for the Boba Fett show, which is why I didn't like it.
Right.
Season 3, I liked it because I already knew what was happening, and I'm like, they got all that out of their system. There was an entire episode wasted in season 3 where they just go to this doctor, and he's on this planet, and there's like a Hawaiian girl who's helping him. And there's a whole fucking episode of season 3 where they just talk about this planet, and they scheme, and she just turns him in and gets him killed, I guess. I don't know, arrested. I don't know, but fuck that episode.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm sorry, you gotta take me back. What
season 3.
About? Season 3 of what? Mandalorian?
Mandalorian. Where remember they showed that doctor or the scientist?
Oh, right. Okay,
He's
yeah. It was
reformed. He's no
it was
longer part of
Coruscant. Yeah,
There's
they
a
were trying.
whole 57
Right.
minute episode of
The
this.
longest episode is the one about him. Yeah, getting his
Yes,
brain
and
washed.
it doesn't tie into anything.
Well, it does. It
It does,
technically
but
it's
no,
tying into the whole story of the new saga, which is terrible. They have to get into that whole bring the emperor back storyline, and that's how they're going to do it, is slowly but through. It's a mess. They
it is
fucked up. They fucked up. They need to reboot. They need to say, you know what? We're going to take a 5-year break, and we're going to come back with
never going to happen.
We're going to come back with brand new episodes 7, 8, and 9. We're going to remake those movies and restart this whole thing. That's all they have to do.
No, I wouldn't say remake. Just, you know what?
Nope.
Here's
Remake it all. It's all Legends.
I have 2 more things on my list. One of these things ties into what we're talking about. I
Yes.
watched Andor.
Yeah, Andor's good.
All of season 1. I watched it this last week. I just finished the last episode last night.
Okay.
Andor, this is going to shock you, Dick. It's my favorite piece of Star Wars media ever made.
Oh, a lot of people said that. Yeah, a lot of people like a lot. Yeah.
What?
They're
I didn't hear
highly
one of those
regarded.
fucking people. I didn't hear one person talk about the show.
Because nobody watched it.
It
They
was
talked about it later because nobody watched it because they just didn't care. At that point, it was so saturated, they were done with it. They've caught up to it now.
it took me
but
this
a lot of
long. I
people-
put it off, and
yeah.
I'm like, all right. I genuinely do like Rogue One.
Yeah.
Well, you're the hater or you love it. It's one of those two things.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but I found it more interesting than any of the other movies that came around the same time for Star Wars.
Right.
But the show, I'm like, okay, I'm interested. My wife's not. Fuck it, start it. Puts it on, and I'm like, okay, we got this going on, and I love it because I was immediately drawn in, and 12 episodes for season 1, season 2 is coming out next year. I loved it more than anything Star Wars related because it's not about the Force. There's no lightsabers. There's none of that shit. I like this universe. I like this galaxy, I should say.
Right.
I like the fact that it's like about why. It's specifically about why they want to revolt against the Empire. And you see exactly why.
Yeah.
Which is completely missing from the Star Wars movies, the originals.
Sure, yeah.
Of this is why, like, they're fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, like, dissecting the Empire, this first season of the show is.
Oh yeah,
You
the whole
see, like-
bureaucracy and every little detail of what they do, and it's just a giant mess.
You see the woman. There's a lady who reminds me of why am I blanking on her name? The girl, the Scientologist from Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, Elizabeth
Looks like
Moss.
She looks like Elizabeth Moss, and
Yeah,
she's
she
like,
does,
you think she's going to be the sympathetic Empire character,
Yeah,
but she ends up becoming like female Nazi leader.
Yeah, she loves it. She's like,
And she just takes over, and I'm like, I fucking love it. Nothing is what I expected. The guy who I thought was like Space Hitler gets fired, lives with his mom, and he's going to come later, but he just like, he's a sad sack of shit.
Eating his berry kicks in every episode.
Nothing is what I thought it would be in that show, and I loved it. Everything I was like, oh, here's what's gonna no, fuck, okay. Like, it just.
Well, you know why?
On the guess,
it's written by a real writer named Tony Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy. His
watch
show.
Star Wars. Yeah.
It's Tony Gilroy's show, and I hope he keeps making this show forever.
Well, they do one more season and it's done.
You're right, but
that's all they got.
It's the version of Star Wars I want to watch as a not super excited Star Wars fan. Like,
you think what have I sacrificed? Everything.
Yeah, no, I did. I told my wife, I turned to him like, he kind of deserves an Oscar for his performance right here. He's the only actor in all of Star Wars media who deserves an award for his speech right now. Yeah, he's like screaming at that guy, and like that little he comes down the like the elevator into that little hallway.
I can't do this anymore. You're asking too much of me. What have you sacrificed?
Yeah.
I have a statue. No statues will ever be erected to me. I live in the
Pause.
I question my own morality.
8-minute speech. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I was like, God damn, Stellan Skarsgård deserves a fucking Oscar for this speech.
You asked me, what have I sacrificed? Everything.
Because here's a simple question. I don't think you'll disagree. Name one actor in a Star Wars production who deserves an award over him. I'll wait.
Adam Driver.
So you got your sarcastic response out of the way.
No, I love Adam Driver. He's my favorite character in Star Wars.
He definitely is, but
No.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Turns in a fucking performance in this.
Oh, really? You guys
so much on. So.
He got his wig. He's like, oh, how are you? Oh, yes.
That
We're gonna get for you.
Exactly what you're talking about. I turn to my wife and I go, I'm starting to think they're actually two different people.
Yeah.
What's his name during the Lexus? What's his name?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Something like that. But I go, I'm starting to think they're actually two different people and that we're being fooled.
Right. Yeah.
And they're not, but he doesn't ever like that. He has that lady who works in his store.
Right.
He's the only person he associates with the wig on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody else. And I'm like, I'm starting to think they're two different people. And we're the ones being fooled.
Well, that's the trick. He has to be two different people.
It was enough where I was like, is this actually going to be like, no, this isn't a trick. This is actual like the Prestige.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
There's two of us.
More engineer.
Your wounds aren't healing.
You saw it happen yesterday.
Rebecca Hall. I'm going to go hang myself.
I'll sacrifice everything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about Sarah.
I loved her.
Sometimes I loved her. Other days I didn't.
That was the trick.
Because you were two different people. Asshole.
You wouldn't understand sacrifice.
I can't wait for Oppenheimer.
And I guess we'll end on that. I have one more show to talk about.
Yes.
It's our biggest show that we talk about.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned. But let's talk about Oppenheimer versus Barbie. I'm not going to see Barbie. Let's talk about Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I hear I've seen very mixed reactions based on my Facebook feed, which is incredible or overdone, overwritten, underperforming Christopher Nolan movie.
Really?
You either love or you hate Christopher Nolan, one of the two.
Right.
I love him at the same time thinking he's kind of middle of the line director.
I don't know about that.
Going forward. I think going forward, he's going to make mediocre movies the rest of his life. I don't think he's ever going to make that movie where we watch and we go, fuck yeah. I think he's too big into the studio system.
I bet you'll see Oppenheimer. You're going to say, fuck yeah. You're gonna take those words and eat them.
I do hear that they deal with a lot with Oppenheimer's like regret and this depression, because that's clearly the I am become death quote. Is that movie, if you ask me. And I think that means the same thing to Christopher Nolan, where the man is mostly about regret, about what he created and what he's responsible for.
And there's nudity.
And that's far more fascinating than seeing Cillian Murphy's balls.
Can't wait.
But I'm still looking forward to his balls, don't get me wrong.
Florence Pugh's going to get naked, and so's Cillian Murphy.
And weird, because Christopher Nolan's never directed a single scene of nudity before.
No.
Not 1 second of nudity.
That's why I'm curious. I'm like, oh, he's trying to be like the old be-all, end-all filmmaker here. I'm looking for nudity. I can do it.
I can.
My wife's breasts.
It's one of the directors I'm very confident about, recollection-wise, where he's never directed a single second of nudity.
No.
Not 1 second of nudity.
No.
So it's weird. Yeah, it's weird that they're going to have that in this.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious.
Is it even rated R? Oppenheimer?
Yes, it's R. It's R rated.
Is it?
Yep. And it's 3 hours. It's 3 hours and 9 seconds long.
That's good. I'm fine with the length. You and I have no
no
problem with the length.
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I complain about it, but I'll watch them.
No, I watched Ben-Hur and Cleopatra in the same day. I didn't care.
Wow.
If it's good, it's good. I don't give a shit.
Oh no, you're right. No, absolutely.
It all depends on how it feels, because Scream 5 felt like 5 hours long.
Right. It's like a 90-minute movie.
But Cleopatra was 5 hours long and felt like a 2-hour movie. I was like, oh shit, I'm 4 hours deep in this fucking thing.
Oh, I forgot to mention Scream 6. Hayden Panettiere's face looked like a corn husk. She looks so old, and she's like 32 years old. She's all fucked up. You know what this town does to you? See what
So much so
Hollywood
that when she
does to
shows up in
somebody?
that movie, Sydney goes, like oh,
What happened to your
either one from
face?
like 2 or 3. Oh my god.
We're down to that. We're getting to the bottom of the barrel here.
We killed Dewey already. Wouldn't even mention that.
Yeah, I saw the.
Yeah, nobody cares. They
I love.
they,
Yeah,
they should have killed him in 3. They had a perfect opportunity when he gets hit in the head with the
right.
butt of the knife. That was a perfect chance to kill him.
I think he was supposed to die in the first one.
He's supposed to die in all of them.
Yeah,
Every version of every script contains his death.
And
They go, no,
last minute,
because David Arquette is too much fun to work with. I could see him being a better person than actor.
Yeah,
it's fun to hang out with, you know.
Yeah,
let's give him around. We talk about my last thing on my list, unless you have something else on your list.
Try to saw a Terminal List. Speaking of lists, the Terminal List, the Chris Pratt military show on Amazon.
Yeah, how is that?
It's fine.
Cool. How many episodes?
It was a 9 episodes, and it's 9. 9, yeah, it's 9 episodes.
Weird number.
Yeah, kind of odd, but it's interesting. It's not bad.
It's exactly odd. I would say it's 9.
It's pretty. Yeah, it is odd. No, it's actually not terrible. I enjoyed it. At first, it takes a minute to get into. It takes a good 2 episodes. It's sort of like.
Did they spend the money?
Did
Amazon spend the money that they needed to?
Oh, it's pretty good budget wise. It's not skipping too bad. There's a great. It's a good revenge story, so I like that. And he comes up the way he takes everybody out. It's pretty good, and it's just dark. It's a dark story. It's really dark.
Is that
it's almost too dark?
I will say this: I'm getting confused with Chris Pratt things lately. Projects where is that the one where he time travels, or is that Tomorrow War? That's Tomorrow.
That's Tomorrow War. Yeah.
So what is this about then?
This is about he's a SEAL, and he's a big time military guy. He goes on a mission, and everybody on his team is killed except for one guy. So 2 guys survive, him and his friend. And his friend, like 2 days later, commits suicide. And he's trying to figure out what's going on. And you come to find out it's a big conspiracy. It's a setup. They all had.
Okay.
They were trying this medication that was going to stop PTSD, and instead it gave them all brain tumors. So they put him on a mission with bad intel, and they kill all of them to cover it up.
Yeah.
So
Manchurian Candidate. I got it.
They're all dying anyway of brain cancer.
Remember Manchurian Candidate, the original, and what that's about?
Is that what it was about? I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a mission in Korea. All of them die except for one guy, and they have him purposely save all of his military guys. There's like 7 of them. And then they all they feed him into the brains that he's a hero. He saved your lives, but really he did nothing. They captured them all from the very beginning and told them there's a battle.
Right. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen Manchurian Candidate. I've seen the Denzel.
That is the biggest classic John Frankenheimer movie, and you haven't seen it?
I don't think I've seen that one.
You see the Denzel one at least?
I saw the Denzel one. I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
I think I saw it with you.
You did. Yeah, you're right.
Because it came out that year.
I was probably bitching the entire time in the theater.
Oh, it was a terrible movie. It wasn't very good. Yeah,
it's fine. It's
all right.
But the original is. You'll watch the.
It's a masterpiece.
I'll tell you this, Dick. You will watch the original Manchurian Candidate, and you go, "That's fucking incredible."
Well, I'm sure I will. Yeah.
So
I think I have it. I have it on DVD. I think I have it. I have a special edition on DVD. I think I bought it for $1.
Criterion Collection Blu-ray.
Is there?
There is.
Okay.
You should check it out next time it's on half off.
Yeah, I'll probably.
I'll send you a copy if you actually watch it, and we'll discuss it in the show.
I think I have it. I'll double check. I think
it'll be a dual episode with this and John Frankenheimer review.
Yes,
we haven't done that in a while.
We've done that in like 5 years. Adam was live when we did that.
We are exactly right. We are. Oh, Adam did have his death day. Oh, let me go over this real quick.
Yes,
our schedule. You know how I normally read off the calendar dates, but we were gone for 3 months, so
right. Yeah.
5/2 of 2016 LAW Plus debut. 5/4 of 2019 last podcast episode which I don't regret canceling.
Right.
5/5/2020, first live anthology and TZ, which was with Adam, just 3 years ago. 5/20/2021, LAW The Stand debut. Dick.
Oh yeah, that
No,
awful.
the first
bastard.
8 episodes or 4 episodes were fantastic.
Oh no, if you got the first show, Gary Sinise shows.
I'm glad I got you on
The
board.
others were shit.
That
I like the original Stand way better than
the first 4 episodes are fantastic.
Yeah,
People need to watch that show and realize how great it was.
Gary Sinise.
5/29/84 was my birthday. I'm 39 now. My last year in my 30s.
There you go.
I'm fine with that. I don't want to say no regrets, but I'll say I'm fine with aging.
Yeah.
6/9/2020, which was a Jansen debuted on LAW The Twilight Zone Review.
Oh.
And he's dead now. 6/13/2016, Nick Cage cast debuted.
Oh my God.
Here's the last 2 are important to you. 6/14/2015, so 8 years ago, LAW The Twilight Zone Review debuted, which is a show you're on. And following up is 6/23/2020 is when you debuted on LAW The Twilight Zone Review. So 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention those because I keep forgetting and we're way behind on stuff.
What a ride.
What a ride. My last thing to talk about on this show, and we'll end on this. Are you done with your list completely?
I got nothing else.
Good. We're at 2 hours.
Yeah.
We knew this would be long just because
it's
up after 5 months.
Yeah.
Last thing on my list is I purposely have avoided this subject with you. You've brought it up several times, and I purposely avoided it. Do you know what it is? Something I fucking love. And you watched as well and kept bitching about. Any idea?
I can't think of anything.
From season 2.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just it better go somewhere. I'm getting pissed off here.
Okay.
Too many episodes with characters talking in circles where they don't solve nothing. They haven't even explained anything yet, and they got to do it because this is a streaming show. It's got 3 seasons max. If they get one more season, and now we're not going to get it because of strike, so it's going to be a year and a half. We're not going to have the show, so no answers for a year and a half from this point on out because they're not going to make this show happen yet.
Yes.
And that's what kind of pissed me off.
Unless they've already written the episodes for some reason.
Well, it doesn't matter. They can't shoot because the actors are on strike. Yeah. The actors are on strike now, so they can't shoot nothing because fuck them all. They suck. But
I don't agree with you completely on that, but I will say you kept saying it better go somewhere. It better go somewhere. It better go somewhere. And finally, after you finished it, me and my wife caught up because we had the baby, and I was waiting for all 10 episodes to be out to watch it.
Right.
So I'm gonna wait, and I'll forget, and it's too much going on when you have 3 kids, and suddenly there's a 10 episode show that you love.
Right.
And I was like, let's wait till all 10, watch them. I'm not as impatient as you are for this sort of stuff. I will say at the same time, I understand why you feel the way you do because we've both seen Lost.
Yes.
We both know how off the rails this can go.
Yes.
But I will say I trust the writers of this show far more than I do of Lost. They're not doing 24 episodes a year. They're doing 10 every year.
It's the same writer.
But episode-wise, they've learned their lessons from Lost. They can't just fuck around. We have to get there eventually. I really didn't have a problem because I felt like they focused more on each character specifically and what.
You know why? You know why? Because you saw it back to back to back.
Yeah. No,
I had to wait a week for each episode.
I told you to wait.
That was the problem. That's the problem.
I'm like, we're gonna wait because that's what we did with season 1. We waited for all 10 to come out. We watched them because I kept hearing. Well, I was recommended the show by Red Letter Media. They talking about, and Mike said he fucking loves this show, and I was like,
right.
And they showed a clip, and I'm like, I'm in.
Right. Yeah.
I'm into that show. Yeah, that sounds like it's right up my alley. It's 30 Days a Night, but in this small town. And you know how
Right.
much I love 30 Days a Night. It's my guilty pleasure movie.
Yep.
And that's what the show is. Only they've. I Can I ask you a question about the show?
Yes.
Do you think they should involve more monsters than, like they are now? Or I personally, all I care about is those weirdos outside the bedrooms every night.
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
need the
problem.
spiders and the
Well,
whatever the fuck they're coming up with.
that's the problem. You're going to
Yes.
lose that now.
It's getting saturated.
Yeah, you're going to lose that. Is the whole point of those you're probably going to find out that it is a simulation and that there is a way out, and the woman figured it out, but no one else is going to figure it out, and it's going to be just a big mind fuck, the whole thing.
I appreciate the fact that I love when a character I don't think I'm gonna like, I end up really rooting for. I always point to Marty and Cabin in the Woods as an example.
Right.
The cynic guy.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking this guy, you know, I don't give a fuck, and he's just constantly talking shit. I really am rooting for that guy. You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't remember his character name at all.
Yeah, I think it was Marty.
Beard.
In From.
And From, yeah.
The guy that had this tech company sold it, and
yes,
he
that guy.
High, and he, yeah. Right.
I find his storyline and what he's working on with the weird guy who's been there forever.
That's fine, but get to the point.
And that's kind of what I am enjoying with season 2 is that it's building these pieces where there's like 5 to 6 different sections of this that are all getting their own piece of this puzzle.
Yeah.
And while you were bothered by season 2 building to that, and you were like, get to the point, I'm like, they all have their puzzle pieces now in season 2. Season 3 is where I have the expectations.
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to.
Your puzzle pieces better start fucking coming together.
That's what I'm talking about. That ain't going to happen in season 3.
But you were saying that early season 2. I'm saying that at the end of season 2.
Right.
I get what you're doing. They all have their puzzle pieces now. They're all building their own thing. They all have their own theory. Now you better start connecting them. At no point in this series so far have the characters talked to each other. Here's what I found. Isn't that weird? Here's what I found. Here's how it ties together. No, they're all separate, and it's like kind of irritating.
Right.
Like talk to each other. It'd be so much faster.
Right. Well, then you have
the same time.
The Sarah character, who I don't know what they're gonna do with her, because that the Chinese guy or whatever, who's the
deputy.
The deputy. And with his storyline, it's like, okay, I get it. Get going on that.
And his
That's
mom.
taking forever to develop.
But they've also worked past that at this point. Like season 3, they've already worked past that. The mom's like,
right, but I want to know where they're getting the pancake mix for the pancakes.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Where are they getting the supplies and shit? Because that's being placed there on purpose, and now they're going to run out of supplies because there's no more food being cooked or grown. The crop system's bad, so they can't make their vegetables. So their food, they're rationing all the food.
Fuck. Sorry, continue. Happened? I just thought of something.
Let you cut your finger or something.
No, you and I can discuss for an episode, but they killed the main vampire zombie, whatever it is. They killed the main one. Like I didn't see that
the guy that looks like the Joker from the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman. That guy. Yeah, I mean they shot.
I thought you looked at the Joker from the show Gotham, where it's that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gotham Joker. Yeah. Yeah. No, that was fun, but then it took 3 episodes to get to the point of him.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
It was like, oh God, okay, get to the fucking point. And why would you? They know these guys are evil. Would you keep a fucking monster like that inside the hospital, not locked and under guard? You just leave him in that room and go, I'll go see him tomorrow. He's all right.
I had both reactions from the people and from what's his name? Henry, what's his fucking name?
Walt.
Walt from Walt, yeah, Walt from Lost,
Walt
and
was the son. This
the
was the son.
Chinese guy. Where I was like,
Yeah.
yes, we need to dissect him right now to figure out what we can do, but also it does suck that we have to bring him in there.
Yeah.
They should have come to a compromise there and locked him in, or let's put him outside at night, sort of thing.
Right. Or just you killed it, he's dead. Let's cut him open. Okay, now let's go burn him. Like as soon as they did the autopsy, got that shit, you should have taken him outside and burned him.
Yeah.
And they don't. Let him sit there for like 3 more fucking episodes. Like, what are you guys thinking? Why would you do that?
I'll say this with season 3. Whenever it comes out, it's gonna be a while. Do not watch it until all 10 are out. Because I really feel like you would be on the same page with me as if you just waited and watched all 10, just, burn through them. Because I kept watching your impatience grow, and I'm like, I was watching them one after another, and I was like, I have zero impatience here.
Well, that's the problem. Yeah, I wish I would have done what you did and just binged it. But I was invested, and so every Sunday I would wake up and, it's on. I gotta go watch it. And it's like, and like I would look at the time and be like 40 minutes. A 45-minute episode. You better fucking do something here. Nothing. Hey, you fuckers.
I just realized something. I have 4 more things in our calendar to get through. 7/1/2016 B movie battle debut. 7/6/2021 Adam's death day.
Which was that?
7/6 of 2021. Adam's been dead 2 years.
Wow.
I'll say this: I still have dreams where I'm talking to Adam.
Sure.
And that's fucked up.
You talked to him every day for a while there.
Yeah, we would talk hours throughout the day. It's just fucked up, but yeah, that's fucked. That's one note I want to mention. The other one is 7/10/2018. Spooky Pasta Cast debuted. A joke podcast I made to make fun of Frank.
Very good.
And then 7/17/17, which was Cena's birthday. So she's 6 now.
Yeah.
6-year-old. Yeah. Shout
and
out.
She's fired.
Dad.
She's still fired.
Daughter.
She's fired.
She's fired. Why is she fired?
Fired me. I fired her first.
Oh, yeah, it's true. She did fire you several times when you were here.
I couldn't build boxes fast enough. Fucking slave driver. Stupid
boxes. With the new house that we have, viewers, listeners, we do have a new studio coming up here in September. We'll probably take a week or 2 off then just to move.
Yes.
But Dick, you have a whole room if you want to come visit.
And it won't be Cena's bed?
It won't be Cena's bedroom full of unicorns and shit.
And I won't be sleeping in a unicorn bed?
No, because I told you we're moving. And you're like, I'll get a hotel room. I'm like, no. Yeah. We'll have a whole, I'm moving into the garage for the studio.
Right,
here.
yeah. All right, yeah.
Everything's packed up here. You'll see it behind me. That's why. We're moving in September. Probably be full studio, maybe in October, November, somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice. So.
I got to soundproof and
sure, yeah,
insulate and all that before we actually move into the garage. But we'll have a temporary studio in the 3rd bedroom.
Yeah.
But Dick will come out. We'll do another live episode here in person.
I'll bring Stone Cold. We watch Stone Cold. I got my special edition Blu-ray.
Well, hey, I feel like a fucking asshole. I still have 2 boxes right here I've meant to send to you.
Oh, right, the games.
Yeah, they're sitting right here. I'm like, I've been a little busy. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
It's not.
Not a big deal.
I'm looking. I'm like, oh God, those are still here. I'm so embarrassed.
I only spent $340 on all of them. I think for everything. It was a great thrift store find.
Oh my God, I need to send those to you. I'm sorry.
I gotta go back to that comic book store.
That store was great.
That was insane. It was wonderful.
I told you there's good stores out here.
Yeah, no, I liked all the stores.
Got nowhere to look.
We have to go to that one place that was closed.
Yeah, that's a little. Oh my God.
It was open. It was closed. What?
Closed on a fucking Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look, we're closed Monday, Tuesday. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Like, why?
Very strange. Very strange.
Anyway, from season 3, looking forward to you.
We'll get more into it. We should have an episode where we dive into From, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll do that.
Can't disagree with that. But I say our next episode should be The Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
Can we finally do that so I can check it off?
We need to do that. Yeah, that should be done.
We're gonna do our rankings. We're least favorite to favorite. We'll go from that, and then we'll do that next week. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good. Can do that.
All right, and then after that, we'll announce it as we go. So we're not scheduling shit out anymore.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
and I still have like 3-4 episodes scheduled of this show.
Yeah.
Because really, it's supposed to be this, and then like I'm gonna get you sucker, and then 30 Days a Night, I think, and then
Right.
Galaxy Quest, I think, is the next one.
Okay. Yeah.
So we still have some, but we should definitely stick to them.
Yeah, that's fine with me. That works.
We do have one viewer, by the way. Who the fuck are you?
I don't think it's a lie.
So you're gonna send me like XOXO sex sluts.
You want to suck your toe in the cyberspace? Suck this.
My wife wakes me up. I had to leave work early because of my back, and I was laying down. She comes upstairs. She's like, "Hurry! We have like half an hour. There's couches for sale for $40 because Bed Bath & Beyond is going out of business."
It's true. Yeah.
But she sends me. She's like, "It's $40 for a couch," and I'm like, "Fuck!" I keep in mind I just woke up, and I'm like, "Yeah, awesome. Okay." She's like, "There's an outside like what's it called? Ottoman tent sort of thing, whatever it's called." And she goes, "It's $35. Can I add that too?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I'm like, wait. Up on my phone. I'm like, bedbathbeyond.com. Nothing there.
Yeah.
We are out of business. We are all out. And I'm like, okay, keep looking. And I spent the next like 40 minutes looking through my phone. I'm like, that is not a legit site. It's just it's like from Facebook, one of those sites that, pretends to be. Yeah.
I've been like celebrity.
I wish that was a real site. Like, I love you, and I wish we had a couch for $40, but it's not a legit site. Sorry.
That's funny.
And she's like, "Oh, you're right." Oh,
no, shit. I'm always getting the ones where it says, "Breaking news: Hollywood legend Angelina Jolie has lost her leg and has terminal cancer."
What the hell?
They show a picture. She's in a wheelchair with an amputated leg. It was fucking hilarious, but it's not real. It's like, what is this? Breaking news: Bruce Willis is dead from his brain dementia. And it's like, no, he's still alive. He's alive. He's fine.
Unfortunately, he's still alive.
He still has his brain damage going on, but he's not going to be in anything anymore. Probably a good thing.
All right. Well, let's get out of here, right? We're at 2 hours, 12 minutes.
That's a return to force right there.
We knew this would be a long one.
Yes.
From here, we're doing single things and just ranking Coen Brothers next week.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, Dick. Until next time, in the meantime, my video goes.
See you in hell.
Hey, Keeper, you a pirate, man.
That would explain everything.
Come on. Yes! Brilliant.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night!
I don't know if I ever want to change our outro. It's perfect.
No, I think you can't. It's too good.
The fuck you, everybody. Good night.
Good night. That's perfect.
Good night.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Very good. Well, this microphone works.